I was like, man, we have something. I remember just seeing him like across the club, and he just nodded at me. I nodded at him, and we just knew we had something special.
I love you, man. Nigga, you gay.
Happy 5K, everybody. I love y'all. I started talking to myself on this bitch. Episodes later, 5,000 subscribers. I love y'all.
Funny how time flies when you're making love. It goes on and on and on. We just can't go wrong. Funny how time flies when you're making love. It goes on and on and on. We just can't go wrong.
What you talking about,
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Welcome all. Finally caught live while waiting in the draft. What's going on, Bailey? What's going on? Shout out to everybody tuning in. I'm your host with the most chill motherfucking Murray in the spot. Live from the Spot podcast. Shout out to everybody tuning in or not tuning in. You know how we do and how we rock. Once again, I love everybody. Happy 5,000 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? That definitely is, you know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing to sneeze at. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing to sneeze at. We still small time. We are still pretty much small time when it comes to it. But 5,000 subscribers, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, I started talking to myself. I was on this bitch talking to myself for a year straight. For a year in sight. Like we were sitting in the corner, doing the counter. That way the counter stayed zero for a good 3 months. And then it was one person that would tune in on Twitch. And I didn't know who that person was. But I would make sure that I turned up and talked my ass off for that one viewer. I make sure I talked my ass off for that one viewer. Like a year straight. Wasn't nobody in this shit like that. But here we are then, you know. Majority of you, yes, road to 100K. Majority of you came in on the Nipsey Hussle video. Where we talked about Diddy having something to do with the unaliving of Nipsey Hussle. And the breakdown of that. So shout out to everybody that turned up that video. And is turning up all the other clips that we got out here in videos and lives and everything like that. Everybody that, you know, joins the live and tunes in. I thank all of you guys. I really do. I truly do. You have no idea how much to read. Like I shouted everybody out on one of the last joints. I mean, Teresa Jackson, you know, shout out Bailey tuning in right now. Trying to think now. Water, King B. I might as well call him B. That's my bro right there. King Ozma. Who else I'm forgetting? Cushness. It's so many of y'all. Fury B. I'm just trying to rattle off everybody that I can think of in my head. But like I said, shout out every last one of y'all. I see everybody in the comments, man. I try to respond to as many comments as I can as well. Because I be at work most of the time, so I can, but I can't. So, but yeah, I guess the first thing we can get into, is this Trump verdict. We're gonna get a little bit of the serious shit out the way, of course. Because this isn't that serious, but it is serious. I like how they try to make this a public thing, but it kind of getting swept under the rug that he even got guilty on all accounts. Because I don't think they expected him to be guilty on all counts.
We've got a verdict. Ari Melber.
We are looking at count 1, guilty.
Count 2, guilty. Count 3, guilty. Count 4, guilty. Count 5, guilty. Those are the first 5 counts coming out of this jury, finding Donald J. Trump guilty on the first 5 felony counts. Reading the rest as we are getting it from our court reporters.
Starting with count 6.
Count 6, guilty. Count 7, guilty. Count 8, guilty. And you'll see on the screen we're tracking ahead. Count 9, guilty. Count 10, guilty. Count 11, guilty. Count 12, guilty. Count 13, guilty. Count 14.
You see how happy he is reading that shit? I caught him round the grin, too. You see how happy he is reading this goddamn verdict? Everybody is happy that Trump is going to jail. But newsflash, Trump is going to jail, but he still get to become president.
14, guilty. Count 16, guilty. Count 17, guilty. Count 18, guilty. Count 19, guilty. Count 20, guilty. Count 21, guilty. Count 22, guilty. Count 23, guilty. Count 24, guilty. Count 25, guilty. Count 26, guilty. Count 27, we're seeing that on screen, guilty. Count 28, guilty. Those are the first 28 felony counts here as read by the jury. Count 29, guilty. Count 30, guilty. Count 31, guilty. Count 32, guilty. Count 33 and 34, guilty. That is Donald J. Trump, defendant in New York versus Donald Trump, found guilty on all 34 felony counts. That is the verdict here in this case.
Rachel?
Listen, it's a unanimous jury verdict, unanimous on all counts. This is a definitive and, this is an irreducible verdict. He can appeal. I'm sure he will appeal. But this is everything that the prosecution asked for from a jury that, by all accounts, took this thing very, very seriously. We counted the deliberation hours down here. Mm-hmm. The test here for us as a country is not about what happens on appeal and is not about what happens in sentencing. The test for us now as a country is whether or not this former president and his allies will have succeeded in trying to undermine the rule of law so that people reject this as a legitimate function of the rule of law in our country. They have tried to delegitimize this judge. They have tried to delegitimize this court. They have tried to delegitimize these proceedings. They've even tried to delegitimize the laws that he was charged under. Those efforts are the tests that we now have as a country. The people involved in bringing this case have been threatened and intimidated and had everything brought to bear on against them in a way that was designed to delegitimize this process in the eyes of the American people. It is now in the hands of the American people to decide if we will accept those efforts or whether we will stand by the rule of law and recognize this as a fair proceeding.
So here's my thing, right? This is the very first time that I've heard someone found guilty on 34 different fucking felonies, and they still running around outside. I just want y'all to understand what we are even talking about. The man is guilty on 34 different felony counts. Forget the fact that he's a former president. Just talk about him being as a regular man on the street. Why is he even still allowed to be on the street? That's what the question, that's the real question that no one even wants to ask. It's those little things right there. Those little things right there. When you say this challenges our country, right? Saying that this challenges our country. First of all, this don't challenge shit for me. It don't challenge nothing for me. For the simple fact that people are going to, protest with Trump, but there's also the split side, of course, that, is not. But when he does, or if he does go to jail, I think that's what she's referring to. She's referring to if he goes to jail. Y'all thought them people rushing the White House was some bullshit. Wait till y'all see this nigga get in some handcuffs. It's gonna be riots in the street galore. Galore. It is going to be, I'm telling you, it's going to be a sea of Trump voters running people over, banging on doors, breaking windows, looting, beating people up, jumping on buses, swinging bats, shooting. I'm telling you, it's going to be this is the civil war that America is afraid to realize is going to happen. Trump is going to literally cause the America's civil war. Okay? I hope everybody is following this part. This is the part in the history book where it's time to pay attention and get ready. I've been telling y'all about this for the last few pods now, and I keep saying it to implore it, and hopefully you get it too. Trump is going to become president whether we like it or not. The fact that, like I said, he is not even in jail yet, and he is going to be allowed to still run for president, should tell you quite a lot.
A wise woman said a few nights ago, 2 Mondays ago, that the rule of law is mortal. It needs to be protected. It isn't an abstract thing. And today, the people have names that we've all come to know. They're named Joshua Steinglass. They're named Alvin Bragg. They're named Susan Hoffinger.
Yeah. And there are other cases that are pending against Donald Trump as a criminal defendant. The difference is that we now know as a country what it is to put a former president on trial and to see that trial to fruition. That is something that was hypothetical before we ever had this guy as a former president. But now we have lived through it, and we know that the court process can work. A defendant who is a former president can be tried as a normal defendant. Again, the appeals process will go on. The sentencing process will go on, and those will all be pressure points. But the legal system in this country treats any former president as any citizen. We've seen that today, and this jury deserves to be thanked for their efforts and to be protected from the kinds of attacks and intimidation and recrimination that the president and his allies have tried to bring down on this process.
Let me just tell folks what's happened. What Ari said or Andrew said would happen has happened. Judge Merchan went juror to juror to juror. They all concurred with the verdict that Donald Trump is guilty on all 34 criminal counts, 34 felonies. And they have been thanked for their service, Ari.
Yeah, what you just reported and what Rachel was reminding us is actually existing in a microcosm within the trial because the jury is being polled, a jury of the peers of the defendant, as is his right. So that's legally something where the defense counsel is asked, do you want to make sure? They almost always, virtually always say yes. And so we're told, and we're looking at our notes here, pardon me for looking down, but our reporters are seeing the defendant, Donald Trump, is looking at the jury, is watching them as they are individually polled. But this is, as Rachel reminded us, someone who has been held in contempt for what he has said and done against other people and witnesses in the system. So I would call that a fairly intense moment, but good for the jury and good for the system to go right through it. Our reporters also telling us that while Trump has rarely shown emotion or changed his, quote, demeanor, throughout the trial right now, he's only looking down. Eric Trump reportedly looking upset. And that's the scene in the room as they go through it.
Sure. When you say poll the jury, what you mean is individually, jurors by number will be asked, is this your verdict? And then they each have to answer orally. They have to say out loud, yes.
Yes, and that's the transparency.
It's got to be a scary moment for those individual jurors.
Right, as they're being stared down, but it's a transparency in our system. You said something so important. The system worked. We discussed earlier when we were awaiting this that it works not because of the result, but because of the process.
So when I hear shit like that, right? When I hear little shit like that, once again, this is telling me now the power that Donald Trump already has over the American people. The fact that he is going to be allowed to even ask on live television, I'm sure, one by one, each jury, did you say yes? Did you find me guilty? Did you find me guilty? Did you find me guilty? The fact that he's going to be able to do that and actually, personally ask these people, I should tell y'all something. He's going to literally show that, okay, this supporter, my supporters, get this person. Talk to that person. Talk to this person. Talk to that person. For me. Talk to that person for me. And by talking, they might not necessarily be talking about talking. They might actually do shit. That's the dangerous part about this. The fact that now the public is going to know who the jurors actually are, who the jury actually is that found him guilty, that puts them in a line of danger. That's the problem with this. It puts them in a huge line of danger. With their names being out, if their names are actually out there, like say for example, he gets to actually ask, hey, what is your name? Say your full name. People are going to start Googling. People are going to start looking up addresses. Next thing you know, oh, this jury member of the Trump verdict, their house was broken into. Or this member got robbed on the street. Or this one got beat up. This one got ran into at a restaurant. I'm telling you, it's going to be dumb shit like that that's going to be happening with this whole, he gets to actually ask each jury which one of y'all found me guilty. Which one of y'all niggas kicked me.
And that if it were an acquittal, we would be discussing that the system went forward. This is that system, and the judge and the bailiffs and others are there to protect the people and protect them in a physical sense as needed. But what we are hearing is that this jury heard the evidence, asked these questions. We know some of what was on their minds. We haven't heard from them other than the verdict, and now are confirming that this is their unanimous verdict. And so it's a matter of transparency that everyone sees each of them confirm what was officialized today, that Donald Trump is guilty, that all 12 jurors unanimously reached that decision through their reasoning with each other on all 34 counts.
Andrew.
Just to Rachel's point, there is something in every trial when the jury is polled that is sort of magical and fundamental to this country, where the jurors, each one stands up and counts as a citizen. And these are people who have everyday lives. They didn't ask to be here. And that moment where the country this is what the country stands for. This is what the rule of law means. And jurors take it so seriously. And yes, it can be scary because of it, but you know what? They did their job. And I think that this is a testament to our joining so many other democracies in the international community who have managed to hold political leaders to account. And we have shown that we can do that as well in a fair process where the defendant got extremely good counsel, had an incredibly fair process from this judge, in spite of his attacking the witnesses, the judge's family, the jurors. Everybody did their job. And finally, on a small bore, Alvin Bragg both personally was attacked. He was vilified for saying no to this case when he first took office, and people said, that how could he do that? And he said, after he said it wasn't ready. And this is a real vindication for him that he said, I'm going to bring it when it is ready and if it is ready. And then he brought it. And it's a real testament that he said, yes, now I think this case could be brought. And he did. And I think everyone understood from the moment David Pecker took that stand. I think a lot of people, including myself, reevaluated this case and said, you know what, I understand this is not just hush money. This was about fundamentally changing the 2016 election. That was the goal here. And clearly the jurors believed that.
Sue.
I'm also just now thinking about the E. Jean Carroll case when.
Before she said all that, just knowing that, right? Think about that, right? If this was the fact that y'all knew that he rigged the election, or should I say that y'all knew that the election was rigged in the first place, don't y'all think that this means that all the other fucking elections were rigged too? Gee, I wonder how that happened. Same way this one got rigged. Same way that all the rest of them get rigged. It has already been clear for I don't know how many years. We don't pick the damn president. We never have. That part has always been an illusion to us. The voting shit, that's always been an illusion. As far as the president part, now as far as mayors and other shit getting in office and certain, communities getting their own parties in office and things like that, that's different. But as far as the president of the United States of America, we ain't got shit to do with it. We don't got really shit to do with that at all. Like I said before, and I've demonstrated this. If the nigga ain't go to Harvard or Skull and Bone, he ain't even getting elected. Y'all see how they've been doing Bernie Sanders for a decade, to the point he just said, fuck it, I don't need to run no more. I don't need to run no damn more. And then they been Biden put him on the team supposedly, but we ain't heard shit from him since either. You see what I'm saying? This was the substitute teacher until Trump got back. For everybody to already be saying that Trump is going to be the next president should also tell y'all something. The fact that, like I just said, he has all that power to talk to each and every one of them juries, the fact that you know already he's harassed every single part of this investigation on him, from the judges and everything else. He's harassed everybody behind the scenes. And then you still gonna give him the power to talk to each and every one of the juries and ask if they gave him the guilty? Understand what we are saying. Trump already runs shit. Trump already runs it. And he knows it. That's why he's doing shit like this that he can do. That's why the nigga's not in jail right now. Think about that. That's why Trump ain't arrested right now. They know. The fucking government know. There's going to be a crazy situation when he actually has to go to jail. That's why they haven't arrested him. They trying to be safe for the American people to not arrest him right now. Don't y'all understand the power that is?
The judge at the end told the jurors that jury was anonymized. And he said, forget you were here in substance. And now today the judge has actually said that they can discuss the case if they like. The choice is theirs, but they no longer are barred from discussing it. And he's actually also asked to meet with them to discuss their work, not to discuss the case, but to discuss their work. So we don't know what time these jurors are going to get out of the building tonight, but he's going to sit down with them. And then after that, I imagine they are going to hear from pretty much every reporter that has been covering this. Hundreds of reporters will descend on them to try and get them to talk about the inner workings of that jury room.
Is Vaughn Hilliard still with us? Vaughn, just tell me
I think
what's going on down there.
Yeah, I think part of this is what is going to take place from here on out. We're 5 months from the November election, and we talked about what a guilty verdict could mean to the stakes of this election. Donald Trump is repeatedly called November 5th the most important day in American history. That is election day coming up. And for him, this only increases the stakes. Number one, these are state charges here. We do not know what his sentence will be. If it'll just be fine, probation, or whether he will be facing jail time. That is going to be the determination of Judge Merchan. And when you look at the election, of course, the expectation.
You hear that? They're pretty much fucking telling you. They literally just told you he's not going to face jail time. If you ain't read between the lines right there. This is all up to the judge if he's going to face jail time, if he's going to be on probation, so on and so forth. Not even he's definitely going to jail, being guilty of 34 different fucking felony accounts and rigging an entire presidential election. You mean to tell me that it's in consideration for him to be on probation? I guess.
Expectation is that if you were to win the White House, that prison sentence, if he were to get one, would be suspended or whatever the punishment is here. But for Donald Trump, he has already sent out a fundraising video in the last 24 hours to his supporters that they were going to be throwing him in jail here in New York. And so for him, he has every intention of using this to his a political advantage to the extent he can. And I think the first statement to come from any of his family members since this verdict was issued, I think is an example of that. That would be Don Jr., who was not here at the courthouse today. He was here yesterday. Eric Trump was inside the courtroom, currently still is. And I just want to read for you Don Jr.'s tweet, if I could. Quote, guilty on all counts. The Democrats have succeeded in their years-long attempt to turn America into a third world expletive. November 5 is our last chance to save it. I read that last line. November 5 is our last chance to save it, because Donald Trump himself on the campaign trail has repeatedly suggested that the end of America is near if they does not take back the White House. From our team of reporters and they say Donald Trump,
you fucking heard it on live television. The end of America is possibly near if he don't win the election and go to jail. If you didn't hear it.
Years-long attempt to turn America into a third world expletive. November 5 is our last chance to save it. I read that last line, November 5 is our last chance to save it, because Donald Trump himself on the campaign trail has repeatedly suggested that the end of America is near if they does not take back the White House.
The end of America is near if he doesn't take back the White House. Think about that, y'all. I can't say it no more. I can't say it anymore. And any more clearer. It can't be put no more clear as day to y'all. That's it. Like, I know I'm being funny, but this shit is over. It's over. It's over. Enjoy it while it lasts. It's over. America, the Civil War is coming. It is coming. Whether we like it or not. Open move by then, but.
From our team of reporters and they say Donald Trump, the defendant, has been seated inside of that courtroom, stoic, stone-faced. He looked at each of the jurors as they walked out, all 12 of those New Yorkers, as they walked out of the courtroom. This is somebody who is still seated in a straightforward position, understanding the political stakes now that he has been found guilty of these 34 felony counts here in New York.
Okay. So, like I said, if you don't understand what's going on right now, maybe it just ain't your time to understand it. But in other news, we might as well get into Big Dummy here.
Court calls case People versus Corey Harris.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present in Zoom.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second.
First of all, what the fuck made you even answer the phone knowing damn well that you had the suspended license in the first place?
You big dummy.
What made you answer the phone going to the doctor? Nigga, why you just didn't wait till you got out?
Parking right now.
Hey.
I'm parking right now. You hear him? And then actually has the court
You
waiting.
stationary?
I'm pulling in right.
My man has the court stationary waiting for him to pull in. Like, hold on, y'all. I'm pulling in right now. Like, he on the phone with a chick right now. Like, hold on, shorty. I'm pulling in right now. Hold on. Let me park the car real quick, then I'll finish rapping with you real quick, shorty. Nigga.
No, at this second, yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are.
Look at the judge. The judge is ready to fucking just. He don't know whether to be mad or just bust out laughing in the middle of the courtroom. Cause, bruh, like his whole reaction to that was just like, nigga, what are you doing? What on earth are you doing?
Requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks that the court would allow.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something.
So that's a great way to start that statement right there. So maybe I don't understand it, because I would be perplexed too if I was that judge knowing that the nigga had a suspended license and he had the nerve to answer the Zoom call in the courtroom while driving a car. I'm just saying, he turned from laughing to just being frustrated. Because he probably looking at him like, I can't believe, like if audacity was, if there needs to be a picture for the word audacity, please put that gentleman's picture up there.
You big dummy.
What in the fuck made you answer that Zoom call knowing damn well you had the suspended license, my brother?
This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving. And he didn't have a license.
And you don't say or nothing. At this point, you don't say anything.
Is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his
Yes.
record. He doesn't have a license.
He said, no, forget the charges. I don't care about what he's actually in jail or going to jail for. He don't have a damn license. I'm looking at his actual records right now. Forget what he's even going to jail for. We already determined. I got that determined in my head. He going to jail for doing this stupid shit on the judge. Nigga, I got your paperwork that says you are not supposed to be behind the wheel of any vehicle at this moment. What gave you the audacity to answer this call while you are driving?
He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And this nigga still with the You got nothing to say, sir. The fact that you still haven't gotten out the car yet. Let's be real about that part. The fact that he still ain't got out the car. He stood on he was in the entire Zoom call, still sitting behind the wheel of the car. You ain't even trying to make it like you was in the back seat. You could have played it off, jumped in the back seat and answered the call. You could have parked somewhere and did that. You ain't do that. You could have pulled over, like, hey man, I'm just walking. You know what I'm saying, from the bus stop. I'm trying to catch a lift real quick. I did the best I could calling. You could have got out your car and left it for a minute. Put the camera in the air or something. Unbelievable.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked.
I don't know why he would do that. You heard him? I don't even know why he would do that. He was just so frustrated and done with him at that point. My nigga, I don't know why you do that either.
In this matter, defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
You big dummy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Harris, I'll be giving you a call.
Okay.
I'm just saying, man. It's just certain things you do not do. But once again, for all of America, man, it's just telling you, the dumber and dumber we see people getting, the dumber and dumber. I remember I told my brother this shit. I was like, matter of fact, no, it was my cousin. I had to, it's a great, God gonna come down here himself and say, you know what? This shit, all this need a reset. I'm tired. I'm tired. I am tired. All y'all have gotten stupid.
Got a teacher in the classroom on school hours, stripping down butt naked, bending over and showing everything on the video, and all you could see was cellulite hanging in pubic hair. This is a disgrace and a shame.
It's a disgrace and a shame. He right. All you saw was butt nakedness and pubic hair. Look at her back there. I'm trying to move myself a little bit. I shrink myself down just a little bit real quick. Cause look at this shit here. Look at this shit here. She is in someone's kindergarten class. There's building blocks right next to her. She is twerking and dropping that thing low. Ass out, pussy out. In a kindergarten classroom. Explain to me how no one walked past the classroom and saw her doing it. that's my. No one walked past class and saw her doing it, and apparently she had been doing this shit for months. She had been doing this shit for months and months. It wasn't even the first time she did it. She was just doing her OnlyFans content in the classroom, just chilling, and nobody said shit.
This is the type of educator and teacher that is in the classroom, and she made multiple videos. Yes, the district was unaware until we brought this to their attention. But what we're asking you to do now is to go even further. Nullifying her contract is not enough. We demand that the superintendent of the board ban her from ever teaching in this school district again. We want a permanent ban on her. Secondly, we demand that this school district send a letter to TEA demanding her certification as a teacher be terminated.
And from what I saw in the leak, I can't show the actual leak, but you can actually tell just by the shape of the blob, my nigga, it wasn't very much to show. It wasn't very much to show. So the fact that you was making kindergarten classroom OnlyFans content with your nasty heifer ass, just got granny panties on, dropping it low. You pulling down granny panties, showing us that hairy strawberry looking man. Get that out of here. Get that content out of here. I don't know what fans are paying for that shit. I hope fuck $1. I hope it's 50 cents per membership. I hope it's 50 cents per membership on that shit. Ain't no way in hell. You got a OnlyFans and you twerking in a kindergarten classroom. You ain't got the nerve to go in the bathroom and shake titties. Like I said, where was the janitor with all this shit? Where was his camera? Where was the janitor? He's supposed to be catching all this shit. Fuck security. The janitor's supposed to catch all of this shit. He is the nigga that has access after hours, that is walking by, seeing and hearing all of the fuckery. He should have had access to this. I'm telling you. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. The world will never know. Maybe it was how many licks it take to get to a Tootsie Pop. And he found out. And that's how she got to do these videos. The janitor should know what the fuck was going on and how she got to do all these damn twerk videos in a kindergarten classroom. That's all I'm saying. I'm telling you, America has just gotten crazy. Paying attention is a skill. Paying fucking attention is a skill. And one nigga that can't seem to pay attention lately is Drake. One nigga that cannot seem to concentrate anymore is Drake. Because every single week, his name is now in some more and more bullshit. So, if you don't know, now there's 2 new reference tracks of Drake's. And this is amid post the rap beef with Kendrick Lamar, and including Rick Ross saying it and a bunch of other people saying it. Like, you have ghostwriters, Drake. It's not, yeah, it's a 20v1. If I gotta slap all them niggas that right with you. It's a 20v1 right now with you having all these damn writers. Your pen is not solidified anymore. Because your pen belongs to someone else. And the fact that this exists.
Say, yeah.
It's very
Say, stick to these niggas, stick to these bitches. Hire a shooter, you ready to be bitches. And I'm on my riches. I turn out the bitch. I turn out the bridge. It is what it is, sure. Black Porsche, cause that Lambo moving fast. Watch your homie if he moving on his ass. In the rocket and that bitch ain't got no tax. Louis bags in exchange for body bags, yeah. I'm sick of these niggas, hey. I'm sick of these bitches, huh. Sire shooter, you really these bitches, huh. Fuck what it was, hey. It is what it is, yeah. And I'm with the shits. It is what it is, and I'm so tired, yeah. I fought with a mob and I got ties, yeah. They'll knock you off and pay their ties.
Yeah. They want me gone, but don't know why. Yeah. It's too late for all that hubbub shit. Whole time tell you my brother shit. That's why I'm done giving in. That's why I made myself a man. Oh, yeah. Say. Yeah. It's too late, it's too late, it's too late for all that. Oh, too late. Yeah. I'm not with a rah-rah. Yeah, I fuck on a dollar. I got a dollar. Done dollar. Sound in the solid. Shout on the head like bottom. I'm sick of these niggas. Hey, I'm sick of these bitches. Side shooter. Get rid of these bitches. I'm sick of these niggas. Hey, I'm sick of these bitches. I hire a shooter. Get rid of these bitches. Fuck. Too late. Yeah. Red beam on his mouth. Look like he been drinking Kool-Aid. Yeah. Yeah, I told her if she slept up on me, baby girl, now it's too late. I told her if she slept up on me, baby girl, now it's too late. Yeah, it's too late, too late, too late. No, say.
It's not the fact that you take one or two bars. You know, you take a line or something. Take something he said, one line or something. That's cool. That's a cool thought. This is what I'm gonna do. Not the fact that. It is the fact that word for motherfucking word, you pretty much did a cover of Vori's song Drake. You did a whole damn cover, a karaoke cover. In the studio of Vori's song Mob Ties. You Milli Vanilli ass nigga. I'm done defending you with this shit. I am done defending you with this bullshit. You have been caught numerous times with this shit. Numerous. Nigga, it started with Rico.
Funk Master Flex Night. Funk Master Flex. Funk Master Flex. Funk Master Flex. Funk Master Flex Night. Funk Master Flex. Funk Master Flex. Funk Master Flex.
Oh, money, new women, gotta keep it balanced. The girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge. I've been counting it out so many times I couldn't count it.
That's Quentin Miller.
Sauce dripping like water dripping from a fountain. Now I'm mad. I didn't have to do what I did, but I did that shit anyway. I hear him popping behind me, but when I'm up front, there's nothing to say. Obi, my brother, me and him go way back, stacking penny days. I've been up way too many days, but y'all sleep enough for me anyway. Came down like the Pampers say. The hottest nigga in the game is me. Hit my show, you leaving with the Winnie face. I ain't sweating niggas anyway. Hit the rider when I'm riding. A bunch of rider ones beside me. Getting money's automatic. Taking shit over my hobby. Red sub, top season, OVO. We might just get hit with the Rico. I might go Tony Montana and call me some Shaq at the free throws and bricks. I'm tripping on nothing like none of these rappers. I'm just like these fucking CEOs. I'm in the Matrix, I'm just like Neo. I'm out like Donald, I ball like KD, I'm just being honest.
Records. Word for motherfucking word. And I can see if it was just the sing-songy shits. I can see if it was the Rihanna records that you had to sing on. I can see if it was, you know, the Controller even. You did a Bad Bunny record and didn't know the Spanish enough. I can see if you did that. But nigga, you taking the whole raps and reciting. You are reciting. You ain't writing. You are reciting. This is not rapping. What is this shit that is out here?
Count money, you know how it goes.
This shit.
All the real live for everybody. And the fake get exposed. I cop that Bugatti just to hurt. I ain't rock my.
And that's Know Yourself. But you also had 10 bands. 10 bands? Dog. 10 bands was my favorite record.
Yeah, man.
My favorite record.
Try
I
some
got
shit.
this album. This shit broke
See how it
my
goes.
heart.
Oh, okay, 10 bands, 50 bands, 100 bands, fuck it, man. I'm trying to run through the budget. Niggas sleep, I ain't tripping, I'ma let them sleep. When I get it, nigga, recipes. I can tell you how it happened. I can tell you about them safe house nights out in Calabasas. I can tell you not a rapper. You niggas selling swag, I ain't gotta open up the package. Who you with? What you claim? The checks all over me, you know I'm 13, 17. Sprite dirty like Diana, never clean. My ex asked me where I'm moving, I said on the better things. Oh, 10 bands, 50 bands, 100 bands, fuck it, man. Tryna run through the budget, man, on G.
Why is it so
I ain't trippin', I'ma let them sleep. When you wake up, nigga, rest in peace. Boys tell stories about the man. The boys shoot shots from the corner, rob an oil for them bands. I don't really wanna be that type of man. The world getting cold, so I gotta turn the heat up for my fam. Oh, I'm on level 3 and going in.
It is the fact that you are taking entire records and doing this shit to it. Like I said before, I could see if your ass took 2 bars, a line someone said, 4 bars, 8 bars, I'm a rapper, Drake. I could see if you took some things. I could see if you took something nigga said in the studio. I could see that. You taking whole songs from niggas and reciting them. You flipping little annotations. But you are taking word for fucking word of these records. Word for goddamn word. Word for word.
Funk Master Flex Night.
Word.
Wake up, filthy.
Lil Yachty.
I just pulled me off the phone, trying to take stands. Round around my effing in like the whole hands. I said so much last night, it's hard to leave the bed. Then I did the whole kind of tech in a cold red. I tell this bitch to pull up, she gon' moped it. My doggy don't smoke on shit unless it's unleaded. I don't back and forth over no net, so just gon' dead it. See me when you see me, if it's smoke, doggy, unleash it. Thick rockin' bitch, it's my fave, I'ma gon' beat it. Looking in the mirror, kiss my face, I'm too conceited. Send that bitch home, call another dog, I'm too slime. Shawty gave me up on the first day, that's her round. New fool fighter, pop an X, dog, it's that time. That shit kicked in like a 2-time world champ. Boot up that shit up and down like a skate ramp. Big smoker, shit lit up the room like a glow lamp. Who won't smoke? Okay, cool with that whole camp. Big shit poppin', we the ones that get your light down. Niggas try to take the nigga spot, now it's too cramped. Up 8 AM, gigging hard, I'm a real vamp. These niggas got me fucked up, I'm too amp. And this bitch lick me like a male stamp. Strapped up, I give a fuck, I'm a dialytic. Real slime, posted at the crib in a sink pit. Every time, tell you how I feel, I don't fake shit. Okay, we ride around with them sticks, we don't do fades. I just pulled me off the phone, trying to take stands. Round around my effing in like the whole hands. I said so much last night, it's hard to leave the bed. Then I did the whole kind of tech in a cold red. I tell this bitch to pull up, she gon' moped. My doggy don't smoke on shit unless it's unleaded. I don't back and forth over no net, so just gon' dead it. See me when you see me, if it's smoke, doggy, unleash it.
This whole fucking tracks ain't just a bar or two. You are Millie Vanilli now. You are. I don't want to call you Millie Drake, because that might definitely go into a different topic. Drake, I'm tired of defending you with this shit. I can't defend you no more. I'm tired. I walked away from the cliff. Academics is still holding on to you. DJ Academics is still holding on to you onto the cliff. Your hand is hanging on to his on the cliff of death. I have walked away from the hill. If I wasn't a fan, I'd step on the finger. I'm sick of this shit. Sick of this shit. Get rid of this nigga. That's how I feel right now. This shit got me upset. I can't believe this nigga. I can't believe it. But, first of all, wouldn't be the first time, you know. I want y'all to understand where this behavior came from.
Baby, you my everything. You all I ever wanted. We could do.
From first of all, with it, so I think even before Rico, you know, Hotline Bling. Let's talk about Hotline Bling real quick, right? Do you remember when Hotline Bling came out? And everybody called it the. When I first got the leak of Hotline Bling, you know what it said? Drake Cha-Cha Freestyle. That's what it originally said. I wish I had the proof too. But I had the original leak that said Drake Cha-Cha Freestyle. That's what it said. It didn't say Hotline Bling. In fact, the song didn't even have a damn title for a month. If you really remember, that damn song didn't even have the title to it. It didn't. People just started naming the shit. It didn't even have a title to it until Drake said it. And this was the days of Drake just putting out random shit throughout the year. Like, he would have the album, but he would then just throw shit out there. Like, just darts. That's how we got Club Paradise. That's how we got the record that Jimmy Foxx ended up using. Your Type. The Your Type record, that's originally Drake, if you don't know. I always fall for your type, that's Drake originally. But Drake, of course, himself is a writer, but it just doesn't seem like you've been a writer for yourself for quite some time, my nigga. For quite some time. And I can't explain it. I don't understand. Now, he also, you know, when it comes to Hotline Bling, what people don't get is he was actually in the session. The nigga was in the goddamn session when that shit happened. When the record was done, he was in the damn studio. So we can't say that he didn't know that Drum had a record called Cha-Cha Freestyle if he was in the damn session.
Baby, you my.
Shit, I keep playing that one. But let me play the real quick the Drum interview where he briefly talks about it.
Hey, you AT aliens, this is Rory. And Maul. And we are coming to Atlanta November 13th. Center Stage. And we hope to see you all there. Get your tickets now so we can have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
There happened to be a Meek Mill and Drake beef. That happened.
Yeah.
And Drake got into defense mode after some tweets and put out 3 records on SoundCloud, Charged Up being the main one.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what the other one was. I think it was a remix to another song. And then there was this little C-side, not even B-side,
Hotline Bling
tune called Hotline Bling.
I still can't believe Drake put that out in the middle of a beat. That's not crazy. It's
fucking nuts.
Like, yo, I could do that.
Ends up being arguably the biggest record of his entire career outside of maybe God's Plan. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That's a direct bite of Cha-Cha.
Yeah, it was. But
where are you at in the crib in the middle of listening to the Drake and Meek beef? Because that's what that pack was about.
Yeah.
It was Charged Up was at the top of that.
Yeah.
That was the single. There was just this other shit over here that's a remix of the Drum Cha-Cha record that we love.
Right.
Where was you at when you clicked that SoundCloud link? Like, oh shit, Drake remixed my shit.
Man, I think I was in Virginia. I was in Virginia. And, you know, it was just a little shocking because it came out as like the Cha-Cha remix.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
As is, not really Hotline Bling. At the time.
Right.
At the time,
Like
it was the Cha-Cha remix.
2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It's just really weird. I ain't get no reach out, no nothing or whatever. And I don't know, kind of it fucked with me for a long time until like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that was my record.
And it legitimately started out as the Cha Cha remix.
Yeah. But to be honest, to be frank, bro, that's so long ago.
For sure.
You feel me? Like, I don't even know, like what I even had that angst to do a broccoli. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Man, like Queen Badu, like, you know what I'm saying, fucking with me, like, you know what I'm saying? Beyonce, Queen B, you know what I'm saying? Like her putting on Cha Cha or whatever, like, bro, like that opened the doors for all of the corporate sides or whatever. Everybody was, you know, sucking dick, you know what I'm saying? Basically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's like what she did on the back end, bro, how she tapped me in with Diplo. She tapped me in with Mike Will. She told the writers of writers, yo, y'all need to watch out for Drum for his pen.
Sustainability.
People thought it was like a Cha-Cha remix type thing. It was, bro, like, it was the pen. How about that? It was the pen. And I'm
the melody, which is pen.
grateful for everything or whatever. Like, and once I was able to just like see past that shit, it's just like, come on, man. Like, you know, that's one of those things that's just like, man.
No, but I mean, I understand that, and just me knowing you somewhat personally, I know what your energy is like, and you one of those, you know, you know, you just kind of let shit go how it's gonna go. But that is something that I feel like, you know, it's fucked up. And, you know, it's as black men, as artists especially, we gotta always keep a certain level of just morals and ethics, respect. So has a conversation with you and Drake even happened?
Yeah, it was like a little whatever, like some years ago or whatever. It's one of them ones. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of them ones.
I mean, I think it speaks to the SoundCloud era so much of how like these records that are just meant to be thrown out almost come in post mixtape era. Like, let's just do some shit and throw it out. And then they turn out to be the biggest hit records ever. There's no real business in them shit. So it's like Drake at the time thinking everyone is going to go off Charged Up. It's like, let me remix this shit now.
Yeah.
It becomes the biggest record of his career, and there's no real business as if it would have been a single. Because now you got to add in his pen as publishing. You have to add in the producers that he worked with on the shit. And then you get producer beef. Because if I remember correctly, there was producer beef with that entire thing. Because who's credited on Hotline Bling? Is it 85?
I believe so, yeah.
Who's family? Love 85. But I know there was something involved
like
in
me
that.
and 85 talked.
Yeah.
To keep it a band. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know, at the end of the day, as a man, your word is your word.
Right.
If ain't no words, kind of not really. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Overstand that. But that shit, that's that, bro. Yo, like, let's get into what we got going now. You know what I'm saying?
That's one of the...
Bro, like, you know what I'm saying? All that shit is just...
And, of course, Drum plays it off. But what happened after that was... Drum actually had gotten jumped after this interview, unfortunately.
This is how I really put it. You know, if you put away, you know, put to the side the massive success, all the crazy things, like, I feel as though he's threatened by my musical talent, my abilities, my immense talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he wants to sing. He wants to sing, but when you really want to do something like that, but you just can't, this is God-given. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I overstand that. You know, ever since, you know what I'm saying? Like, all those years, and for it to be this long ago, and for it to still be fresh on one's mind, you know what I mean? Like, it's a great thing. And I overstand. You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's really in me, not on me. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be able to hear it on Thursday. You know what I'm saying? What happened was, bro, we have to have straightening. We have to have straightening. No matter how is this packaged up or anything like that, or whatever, we have to have straightening. And if that's a thing where it's like, no, it's past that or whatever, then all right, this is the talk on this shit. You know what I'm saying? After that, we back on the music, bro. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm the big babes in real life. Vacation in 2017 out Coachella. Yeah, like, bro, he was DJing at a party. I approached him. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, hey, bro, we need to talk. You know what I'm saying? Stepped outside. It was like a whole army of guys, like 15 some guys. You know what I'm saying? Said what I had to say, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what you mean, bro? He said, it's about to get ugly. Next thing, bam, I'm like, oh, shit. It really went down. The adrenaline going up so crazy, but that shit was wild. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was wild. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was like kind of still like lit, like, damn, like, what the fuck? Like, that shit went down. And I'm not no internet ass nigga. It's a lot, like, you know what I'm saying? You would never know for real, bro. Like, I keep, like, you know what I'm saying? I keep a smile on my face, bro, but I bleed just like the next man, bro. Like, but I don't do the internet tacticals type stuff because I am so in belief that God has blessed me with this musical talent. All I gotta do is just stay on it straight and narrow. When I see someone in person, that's when I see them. But like, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I'm taking it as like a blessing, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, to still be on this guy's, mind and shit, like how it's set up so crazy. Like, I'm dropping, on Thursday, Brody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is one of them ones like, oh, okay, cool. Like, whoa, that's fire. This album, bro, is literally like the most emotional, raw.
So with Drum, if you didn't read between the lines what Drum was talking about, Drake actually addressed it in Back Outside Boys, where he goes, try to bring the drama to me, he ain't know we cha-cha slide. He was addressing what Drum was talking about in this video here, where Drum had stepped to him at the festival, and he pretty much gotten jumped. And he was pretty much just like, in shock because, of course, it's two things. You're shocked because you went and approached the nigga and he just wilded out on you. Second thing is you're shocked because it's Drake and he's just wilded out on you and got jumped. So, yeah, I can understand his reaction being that there. But let us speak on also the psyche of this. Because the reason why I believe Drake is an habitual offender, with all this shit and all these recitants, is from this very moment.
Baby, you my everything. You all I ever wanted. We can do it.
Yeah. Young. Young. What up?
1080p's the film. Available on DVD Monday.
Yeah.
Drake, what's good, my brother?
I'm here, man. I'm ready. I remember listening the last time I listened to one of these Flex.
What's good?
The boy said something. He said, Flex, let me touch the city. Let him know where it's at. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Can I do that?
You want to do that?
Can I do that?
Hold up. Turn his mic up a little bit.
Can I do that?
Need his mic up.
Can I do that?
Okay, tell him yeah.
New York, New Jersey. I'm here. Toronto, Canada, I'm in here.
Oh.
All the way from.
All the way?
Degrassi, all the way from.
Let me situate this.
Yeah. All the way from it. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Young. I got you. Look, I say, young money to the young boy dying out. You hear me crying out, you see me riding out. And if your man get the stuntin', we'll buy him out. Cause we be living what these other rappers lying about.
Now, the only other person in history to ever do this, and I don't even think he was actually reading and reciting his bars, was Fabulous. Fabulous had did this, but it was, I think, maybe 2 or 3 years after Drake had did this, but this is number one unheard of. This was a sin to do back in the day. Let me put myself on the camera here. This was a goddamn sin to do in hip hop. You don't get on no radio and first of all, it is called a radio freestyle for a reason. It means you're supposed to say something that you already know. You ain't supposed to go in your goddamn phone and read something out of it. You don't get to do that in no hip-hop battle. You don't get to do that when you in a cipher outside. Let me pull out my notebook. You see what happened to Cannabis when he did that shit? This was the first time, I believe, when he got the nerve to start doing this shit. All this reciting shit that he doing. It was this moment right here where he was confident enough to get on the damn radio and pull out that stupid ass BlackBerry and start reciting from it. And on top of that, you ain't even have enough shit to say.
Drizzy Drake, what? Funk Flex, Hot 97, I'm so far gone. Yeah, I'm just getting started. Here we go.
Nigga, you stopped after 4 bars and said, let me go to the next thing I wrote. What?
Look, feeling good, feeling great, how you though? Bet you hear my name every single place that you go. Sipping on pink shit, but nah, it ain't nouveau. Slow the F down for your asses on Pluto. Yeah, tell me what it do. I belong to the youngest Grammy-nominated crew. My city love me, but I got Toronto haters too that sit around and talk about what they'd have done if they was you. Yeah, but no, I ball without a sphere in sight. Club owners give me reasons to appear at night. And just know that I be in the mirror like, are you listening? I hope you hear it right. Yeah, I'm in the Aston doing donuts. I will kill the game and never send it my condolence. Taught to never love a chick and only love the moments. New York City, I could tell the people want it. What you got for me, Flex?
You said you're in the Aston Martin. You said you're in the Aston Martin doing donuts.
Yeah, I said that. And I'ma never send my condolence when I kill it.
Now, what's even funnier about this particular scenario is that who is standing right next to him in the red shirt is none other than Cypher Sounds. If you don't know who Cypher Sounds is, Cypher Sounds is a very famous radio DJ from Hot 97 back in the day, right? Now, recently, well, let me just finish playing this real quick, but a little funny thing happened to Cypher Sounds. So it's kind of funny watching this nowadays, knowing what happened to Cypher recently in Drake's camp.
Exactly. You know what it is? It's Hot 97 is the station. Funkmaster Flex, I run the city. My man Drake is in the building.
I'm in here.
We shut it down.
Give me some for the city.
If you just stepped into New York, if this is your first time in New York, you're tuned in to the Kingpin.
Yes.
Hot 97. Should I give you something else? Throw something else
Please, give me
on?
something else. Come on, man. I'm ready. Give me something else. Yeah. Yeah. New York, I see you. Look, Oliver 40, I see you. Nico, what up? Ho! Alright. I gotta get on my gritty. You want me on my gritty? Alright. Look. New York, check. I say it like this, I say, vacuum materials and shine wheels. What's your life like? This how mine feels. I like my seat back, I like my wine chill. I look good, smell better, and I rhyme ill. I say I'm at these girls' neck and head. You and your girl sleep in separate beds. And yeah, I guess but I'd rather get a check instead. I kill this, tell Flex it's dead. You got birthday cake, mine's wedding tall. Y'all lemon small, y'all never ball. I get the girl of your dreams and I never call. NY, I got it, I'm about whatever, y'all. Yeah, 40, here's my interviews, tone it down. I'm at your girl condo, getting shown around. Yeah, why you taking everything personal? This that in your face, all offensive on purpose flow. My city never effing need me. Yeah, oh wait, no, they really need me. Oh wait, hold up, young effing Wheezy. Holla at me when you done effing Wheezy. Yeah, okay, it's young Drizzy. Yeah, alright, I told you. New York, you gotta understand, I've been on the road for like 2 months. Just grinding it out, you know what I'm saying? I've been on the road really like doing these shows every night. So I'm coming in, ooh. That's how you feel tonight, Flex? Hold up. See, you called me off now. You called me all the way off now. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna get this. Hold on. Can we come back? Can we do it? Can we come back? Yeah.
Nice.
Hold on. I'm gonna get him.
Can we come back? You hear him? Can we come back? Can I write something real quick and then come back? I don't got none right now.
I'm gonna get him.
So crazy.
I promise I'm gonna get him. I promise. I can't give him everything, Flex. Like,
no, you can't.
I can't give him everything because, you know, like, you gotta understand, this is my first. You want me to do it again? You want me to give him? This is my first, like, real time on the radio. Like, this is my first real.
Your first real, like, blast off.
Like, with the big dog.
Launch.
Like with the.
Well, you know.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
And
it doesn't get much realer than
I want to get the story, New York.
Please.
Baby, you my everything. You all I ever wanted.
If you haven't, caught on to that, what was happening there was a rapper that ran out of raps. A rapper that ran out of raps, not in his head, but a rapper that ran out of raps in his phone. Nigga, are you kidding me? He ran out of raps to say in his phone. It wasn't like he had to say, let me think of some shit real quick and just real quick and mumble something. The nigga said, damn, I ain't got nothing else I wrote down. I ain't got nothing else to recite. So, Drake, how long have you just been reciting shit? Now I'm asking that question. How long have you just been reciting raps? Because who's to say that somebody didn't write that for you and send it to you? Now I'm asking. With all this shit going on, and you reading off a BlackBerry on a freestyle, now I wonder, who gave you those bars? And was you waiting on somebody to text you some more? That's what I wonder. I'm tired of defending you with this shit, man. I'm sick of defending you with this shit. I'm done. I'm completely done in defending you with this shit. You are now Millie Drake to me. You are now Vanilli Drake. That's your new thing. That's your new thing. Vanilli Drake. You are Drake Vanilli. You are Drizzy Vanilli. There we go. Now we got it. BBL Drizzy. Now we got Drizzy Vanilli. He is Drizzy Vanilli now. That is the new name for Drake. Drizzy Vanilli. Drizzy fucking Vanilli. I am tired of defending you, man. Drizzy Vanilli. That is your new name to me. Drizzy Vanilli. So, another person that has been caught out here faking the funk. And apparently doesn't know when to quit. Apparently he just don't know when to stop out here. So, y'all heard what happened to Sean Kingston last week, right? Mr. Sean Kingston getting sued for $1 million for a TV.
Rapper Sean Kingston and his mother are arrested, accused of stealing more than $1 million in a fraud scheme that allegedly includes stolen jewelry, cars, furniture, and money.
They had, 50 or 60 officers there, a SWAT team, long guns. They threw a dog allegedly over the fence to get in there. They destroyed a lot of the house during their search.
We're hearing from Kingston's attorney for the first time since his arrest, comparing the raid of his home to Nazi Germany.
Because of the Gestapo-type raid there, bringing all these SWAT team guys in with masks so they wouldn't be identified like in some sort of a mafia undercover raid. It was really ridiculous.
The arrest and raid apparently a shock to Kingston and his team.
We had no idea it was coming.
This is a law and crime legal alert. Google Incognito tracked users' browsing data without their knowledge. Mass Tort Alliance Girls from 2007, or that 2010 song Eeny Meeny that he worked on with Justin Bieber. Kingston, whose legal name is Keyshawn Anderson, still performs today, but hasn't seen the same commercial success as he originally did when he debuted into the music world. He was actually performing last week at an airbase in the Mojave Desert. That's where he was arrested as officials raided his home in Florida.
If we had known they were coming, we would open the door and said, here, come on in, do your search.
That's Robert Rosenblatt, Sean Kingston's attorney. I asked him about the raid.
Cap. I called Cap. You wouldn't have let that nigga in. Even if the police would have said they coming back with a search warrant, that nigga would have moved. You would have disappeared knowing Sean Kingston. We would have let the feds in. No, the fuck you wouldn't have.
And the charges against Kingston and his mother, 61-year-old Janice Turner. A couple of the things I've seen include conducting an organized scheme to defraud, grand theft, identity theft, related crimes. What do you make of all of these charges?
We don't think they're going to stick. This is basically a civil suit that they've turned into a criminal case. There's been no criminal intent. We'll handle each of these allegations separately in court.
The civil lawsuit Rosenblatt's referring to is one from February, filed by Ver Entertainment. According to court docs, Sean Kingston reached out to the company in September 2023, saying he wanted to purchase a 232-inch TV and sound system. Ver alleges that Kingston agreed to record some promotions for the company in exchange for a discount. But Kingston also teased a big name of a former collaborator. So some of the allegations that I've seen include straight from Ver Entertainment that Sean Kingston, your client, was going to do promotional videos, I guess, or commercials alongside Justin Bieber in order to promote and then get a reduced price for some of the products. Is that accurate?
Well, that's what their allegations are. I'm not so sure he's going to do it with Justin Bieber. A lot of it was going to be his own princes.
And does he plan to do that, those commercials or promotions?
Well, that's something we're talking about right now. I mean, obviously they kind of jumped the gun there by filing the lawsuit because the contract, as I read it, didn't have any specific deadline for him to do that.
And why don't you just go ahead and say that you didn't know that he was scamming people with Justin Bieber's name? Just go ahead and say you didn't know that he was using Justin Bieber's name and saying that he was going to promote shit that he never was. Just go ahead and say you didn't know he was doing any of this shit.
So there's even a question whether it's a breach or not. Sean's very busy. He's doing a lot of concerts and traveling a lot.
So basically, Ver Entertainment says this $110,000 entertainment system was installed in Sean Kingston's Florida home, and Kingston only paid them $30,000. Ver says they haven't seen any of those promotional videos either, but Rosenblatt says there was no timetable on Kingston's contract. Even still, it was Ver's lawsuit that likely led to the raid of Kingston's home.
Well, that was the main impetus for bringing this case. The TV issues and whatever. It was a civil contract. They attached the contract to the complaint. I just pulled it up this morning. I didn't see any appearances on behalf of any defendant yet, but I mean that was the start of it, and they pyramided all these other allegations, which we'll address and we deny.
All this brings us to the raid of Kingston's home in Southwest Ranches, Florida, about 15 miles outside of Fort Lauderdale. The Broward County Sheriff's Office performed the raid on May 23rd and took out that TV Ver had installed for Kingston. Rosenblatt compared the raid to the Gestapo, the police in Nazi Germany. He says Kingston could still do the promotional videos for Ver, but he doesn't have the TV anymore anyway.
And if he could fit into a schedule, then he'll comply with his agreement, which may be moot at this point because of the Gestapo type raid there. They took the TV back, so I'm not so sure even if that is going to be that case will be pending or not.
You compared that raid there, Gestapo-like raid is what you said. Have you talked to either of your clients, Sean, about that? I know that he wasn't there at the time, but what are they thinking about it?
No, well, I didn't speak to him about it, but I did speak to Janice about it, and I saw the video. It was uncalled for. You know, bringing all these SWAT team guys in with masks so they wouldn't be identified like some sort of a mafia undercover raid. It was really ridiculous. The amount of manpower they used to take a TV out.
Rosenblatt had more to say about the raid, too.
It looked like they thought Obama bin Laden had been resurrected. They had, 50 or 60 officers there, a SWAT team, long guns. They threw a dog allegedly over the fence to get in there. You know, they destroyed a lot of the house during their search. It was, really uncalled for to arrest a 61-year-old grandmother, bring her out in handcuffs.
He's referring to Janice Turner, Kingston's mother, but this isn't her first tangle with the law. In the early 2000s, she was convicted of stealing more than $160,000. She served 1.5 years in prison. Since then, the pair faced at least 3 civil lawsuits for failure to pick up major tabs from jewelry stores, customized watchmakers, and entertainment systems.
Sound like the apple don't fall far from the motherfucking tree, don't it? $160,000. You might as well have put your son onto the game.
Also, some of the reports that I've seen include that Sean Kingston had already been on probation at this time for trafficking stolen property. Way in the past, back in 2006, Janice had served more than 1 year in prison, and then there were multiple lawsuits that they both faced from 2006 onward for fraud. Some people are saying this is a pattern. What do you make of that?
Well, I'm not privy to all the old lawsuits. If you go back to 2006, I mean, these are business people. They're going to have lawsuits against them, for various reasons. I'm not sure how the lawsuits were disposed of, whether they were dismissed or what occurred. I'd be interested to find out. But that's all history, and they have no relevance to this particular case. This case has to rise and fall on the facts of its own, not on something that occurred 16 years ago, or may have occurred 16 years ago.
With Kingston's legal history in mind, I asked Rosenblatt about the current charges of conducting an organized scheme to defraud, grand theft, identity theft, and other related crimes. Were these charges and arrests a surprise to you? Did you know that they were coming?
No, obviously not. If we had known they were coming, we would open the door and said, here, come on in, do your search. Janice could be surrendered if they wanted to charge her with something. No, we had no idea it was coming. And of course, they do it on a Thursday, which is the long weekend, so she can't get out of jail. They do these roundups. They like doing that on long weekends, so the defendants don't have access to the court to get out on bond. So it was pre-planned to do it on a Thursday, on a long weekend.
According to court documents, Kingston and his mother didn't just defraud Ver Entertainment. They also allegedly stole $500,000 in jewelry, $100,000 from First Republic Bank, $200,000 from Bank of America, $86,000 from a customized bed company, and $160,000 from an Escalade dealer. What does Sean say about this? Is it a misunderstanding? Is he fessing up to things? Where is he at?
Well, I can't tell you that. That's kind of attorney-client privilege, but say he denies the allegations. And we look forward to proceeding, in a courtroom where we can present our case.
At the time of the raid, Kingston was in California. Rosenblatt says he was taken into custody there and is being held in Los Angeles.
Well, we haven't waived the extradition yet. That's one of the issues we're going to be bringing up. They don't even have a prosecutor assigned to this case yet. So it's kind of hard to reach out to somebody. Hopefully they'll have somebody assigned quickly so we can deal with them and negotiate with them. But what we would do is have him recall the warrant, post a bond in Florida, have him waive extradition, and we would bring him back to Fort Lauderdale on his own. That would save the Broward County money for costs of bringing 2 detectives out there. And I don't know how they would get him back, whether by vehicle or by air, but it would save them time and costs. And then we'll get the same thing. They want him back. We want him back here. Broward County wants him back here. We want to start the legal process and litigation. And he would have a bond that he would put up that if he didn't appear, that would be forfeited. But clearly he would appear. He's well known and he's not a flight risk, nor is he a danger to the community.
I think that's another reason you mentioned he's well known, why everyone is focusing on this story, because everyone knows some of his music. He's a familiar face. Does that make things more complicated because you are dealing with a celebrity?
Yeah, of course. It's more high profile. Everybody has a microscope looking at everything. So yeah, it makes it more difficult. But we can handle that. We've handled other celebrity cases in the past.
After news of the raid broke, Kingston posted this statement to his Instagram story. It reads in part, quote, "People love negative energy. I am good and so is my mother." I've also seen a post from Sean himself on Instagram. He said, "My lawyers are handling everything as we speak." So that would be you. How are you handling everything?
Well, we're dealing with the prosecution. We have some proposals where Sean can waive extradition and he can return here on his own and surrender, and we'll fight the cases in court. So we have ongoing issues there. We have California counsel we're going to be consulting regarding the extradition issue as well.
As our conversation wrapped, I asked Rosenblatt what we can expect in the case. What's next for you? What are your next game plans ahead?
Well, getting him back to Broward County is the most important thing right now. So we're working on the extradition issues. And as I told you before, we're going to negotiate and try to get him back here and limit the cost to Broward County.
So, Sean Kingston, first of all, understand this. As y'all heard, the list of shit that they had to rattle off added up to about $1 million. So what it sounds like to me when I hear that is the mom put him on the game as far as you can run up a tab as far as the amount that you probably can owe, as far as loan amounts and shit like that, as long as you don't pass that $1 million mark. Sounds like he broke the $1 million mark, unfortunately, with the tax plus on the $150,000 TV. And that's why they said that they had to come and get him for the TV. It was the fact that the TV was the straw that broke the camel's back. That's what initially got him caught with doing all the other shit amongst everything else. So him doing all the renting and the buying and the loaning and all that other shit, all that caught up to him when he went over that $1 million plus limit with that damn TV. And unfortunately, it cost your mama some jail time. You could tell us that your mama is all right.
Developing now, a very active scene outside of a home
right.
connected to rapper Sean Kingston. Dozens of deputies have been going in and out all day long. And now we've learned his mother has been arrested. Local 10's Terrell Forney joining us live from the scene in Southwest Ranches with everything we know about this investigation. Terrell.
And there certainly has been a lot of movement here at this home over the past few hours. Detectives with the Broward Sheriff's Office, they have literally been here on site all day long. As you can see, there is a mobile command post set up just outside of the home. And all of this has to deal with some very pricey equipment that allegedly was never paid for. A high-profile raid underway Thursday at this multi-million-dollar home connect.
So understand this, right? Them going to get the mama, first of all, should tell y'all another thing. And the fact that he went to jail too. That should really tell y'all that Diddy and Trump are one and the same, don't it? Don't that tell you they one and the same? Because the feds have been trying to get Trump for how long now? The feds have been trying to get Diddy for how long now? Damn near got every bit of evidence they need. Shit, the other one got 34 felony counts he found guilty on and still ain't in jail. Other one done got caught beating somebody. Among other sexual assault allegations and lawsuits and whatnot. Now he has his whole summons to court and raids and whatnot and still isn't in jail, right? So understand this. If Sean Kingston gets a raid and immediately goes to jail the same day of his raid, I'm just saying that should tell y'all a lot. If it don't, I'm sorry, but it really should. It really should. But as far as Mr. Sean Kingston goes, right? They came and got his fat ass the day of his show.
The team at TMZ showing the moments cops confronted Sean Kingston in California after his South Florida home was raided.
His mother also arrested.
Hold on. Matter of fact, I think I got the IG live beforehand. Let me see something real quick. I thought I had the no. I thought I had the live when he was just standing there saying he's about to go on stage. That shit was hilarious. But
Faced a judge today on fraud charges. Local 10's Janine Stanwood is live in Pompano Beach with the details. Janine.
The pop star and his mom facing multiple charges. She is right now here at the Paul Ryan Detention Facility in Pompano Beach. He's still in California, where we're seeing those new images. New video obtained by TMZ shows the moments before singer and rapper Sean Kingston is arrested after stepping off stage at a performance in California. Kingston upbeat tunes, but now he and his mother are accused of committing more than $1 million in fraud in just a matter of months. It comes a day after this Bentley SUV and other big-ticket items were taken away from Kingston's posh rental home in Southwest Ranches. Broward Sheriff's deputies seen unloading electronics and bags of evidence. While Kingston sits in this California jail,
Organized scheme to defraud.
His mom, Janice Turner, facing a judge here in Broward County.
Brand theft greater than $20,000. Brand theft greater than $100,000.
you hear all this shit? The amount of shit they reading off them? It's over,
Warrants
bro.
released Friday allege the pop star and his mom defrauded a number of companies dealing.
And while we at it, we might as well read Sean Kingston's case. But before we get to that, y'all understand how much Sean Kingston is a habitual offender of this shit? This right here is from just 9 years.
Where you off to?
I'm off to your girl house.
That's Sean Kingston at LAX, joking with our camera guy about stealing his girl. Just like how he jokes with jewelers about stealing their jewels. Okay, that joke might have gone too far.
He's got a bunch of really, really expensive jewelry on. He's also being sued because he doesn't make payments for jewelry that he owns.
About a quick $200,000 on right now.
Right there?
Yeah, about that, I think this is 85 right here.
Whoa,
and,
man.
A lot of people say that. They say I owe on jewelry and I'll be paying people.
Oh, really? We hadn't heard.
But that's all rumors because at the end of the day, if I was broke, I wouldn't be spending, $25,000 a month out here living in LA.
I'm not saying he ain't rich. I'm just saying he doesn't pay his bill.
He's like the new Tyga.
Well, he's the original Tiger.
Now with more lawsuits. But Sean doesn't think the jewelers are being fair.
I spent over millions of dollars with them, and just because, I might be late on one payment, I'm gonna sue them off for being late on one payment. That's not right.
Well, that is kind of how payments work, but...
You're gonna have a time in your career where stuff gets slowed down and, you're not doing as much shows, and the jeweler is supposed to be able to say, okay, you know what, since you spent over $1 million, let me wait till everything, get right, and just be like, okay, cool.
That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
Hey, he just needs another big hit song and things will be fine, right, Sean?
Everything's gonna be great.
Is he still popular?
No.
You're way too beautiful, girl.
Well, he's still got one fan. Safe flight, buddy!
I'm just
We're
saying.
TMZ if you like our vibe.
This is not the first time Sean Kingston has done this shit. It's multiple times. Over the past 10 to 15 years, Sean Kingston has been a habitual scammer.
It's your boy DJ Academics, and now we are all familiar with the phrase "fake it till you make it." But,
bruh, first of all, I must say, this is from, like I said, 9 years ago. 9 years ago. Y'all hear how young Academics sound? Sound like a damn kid still. That's how long ago this nigga Sean Kingston been robbing people.
faking it while you're falling off or faking it like you still got it, that's completely different. Now, this niglet, Sean Kingston, he was sued by NYC Jeweler for not paying for several pieces of jewelry, including some of the jewelry was even fake. Niggas even buying cubic zirconia. Now, according to the lawsuit that was filed in New York, Sean Kingston owes over $200,000 for ice he purchased from some jeweler from 2008 to 2013. Now, Apparently, he wrote a bunch of checks. They all bounced because obviously he doesn't have the money or the accountant doesn't have the funds.
Hey, yo, and for the record, I ain't even no social media kind of guy. You feel what I'm saying? But anybody know me knows I'm a stand-up guy, man. And I stay 10 toes down. Don't let this jury shit fool you. I told that fat piece of shit in the beginning, I said, don't you ever play me. Don't you ever fuck me, Sean. You know what I'm saying? He said, no, I love you, brother. So love, I would never do that. Now I gotta come get you. It's crazy. For a little bit of money, what your own people will do. Just a little bit of money. Just a little bit.
Wild going, you know, your boy Sean Kingston just did great business with my brother, man. He did hook me up with the best prices, the hottest jewelry. This is my only jewelry I'm working with, man. So y'all can fuck with my boy AJ and get it right. You know what I'm saying?
100, baby.
That's pretty much the game right there. What he did at the end, that's pretty much the game. Does a little video with you, promotes the shit, rents it out, because he's Sean Kingston, and then never pays for it back. Or should I say he never actually returns it. But then he would get sued for, you know, $900,000.
Welcome back to the Natty Daddy Experience. Ooh, Mr. Sean. Can't even pronounce it because I can't afford it. But anyways, he got that watch for like $300K, you feel me? They say the two watches was flown in and delivered from Malaysia. Upon arrival, Sean Kingston agreed to buy the watches through a wire transfer that was denied. He claimed that the account was frozen and ended correspondence with the company without paying the full total. So you done wasted the folk time coming all the way from overseas, then brought you $1 million worth of watches, but you can't afford it. Something ain't right. If you're broke, just say that. Maybe when the watches came, Sean Kingston took a look at them and was like, nah, them watches, they're fugazi. You know rappers get gypped all the time. Like Lil Baby paid all that money for that watch and it was fake. Now this type of stuff happens all the time with these rappers getting sued by jewelers for not paying them. But at the end of the day, it's the jeweler's fault because like in Young Thug's situation, Young Thug owed the jeweler about 200 racks. He only probably gave him like 90 racks, but the jeweler told him, you know, you can pay when you want to pay. Like pay whenever, you know, it's flexible. Pay whenever. You know you can't tell a nigga pay whenever. You may never get paid. Same thing happened with the Migos. Jeweler want to sue because Offset ain't pay off all his debt. People got
Story time of how Sean Kingston scammed me and my company. So I am a private jet broker for Nava Jets and I also run their social media. So one day we get a message from Sean Kingston. He was interested in one of our planes for sale and came to Palm Beach with his family to see the plane. He said he was going on tour and wanted this plane ready soon and there was no Wi-Fi. So we flew the plane from Palm Beach to Fort Lauderdale for our mechanics to install the Wi-Fi for him for it to be ready for his tour. And this was out of our expense. We had to pay the pilots and for the fuel and everything. He came again to Fort Lauderdale, brought his family and friends. We popped the champagnes, we shook hands, agreed on a price, and they signed the contract. The contract stated that the payment is due in full within the 3 days of signing. And Sean was posting that this is his jet, that he bought it with not even $1 down. He's telling us that we can be in him and Justin Bieber's new music video, just leading us on, saying that he would promote Nava Jets, and just a bunch of crap. When the third day came and the payment was due, they went ghost and they blocked us. They said it was our obligation to help find them a plane since the plane wasn't ready. There was no Wi-Fi installed, but we were trying to help them for 3 weeks to sign the contract so the plane would be ready in time for him to fly to Vegas for his show. But then I Googled Sean Kingston, and this is what he does. He's a con artist, and he's a scammer, and he scams people. He was stealing jewelry in New York City, and just at the end of the day, he's not a good person. And I just don't know how you could do that to someone when the contract is signed, and I don't know.
Kingston! Shout out to Nava Jets. It's the boss.
But see, that's what I'm saying. The fake jet. Because you was seen buying that jet, remember? He was seen flossing on that jet. That's my whole thing. And in every last one of these cases, have y'all noticed? Every single time, it's about him promoting justice.
See, little shit like that lets me further know what it is you really do.
Every single time. Justin, you do something with Justin Bieber. Do something with Justin Bieber. I'm gonna promote your shit. Get you on Justin Bieber. Every single time he used Justin Bieber name. At this point, how long Justin Bieber been drugged up that he don't know Sean Kingston been using his name for fraud? Like he dead already or something. Think about that. He using Justin Bieber name like he dead already or something. He using that kid name for over 15 damn years, talking about something you can promote a video for him. Or their company or whatever. That ain't gonna work. And someone else that has something to say on the matter would be High Def.
I seen somewhere you had an incident with Sean Kingston.
Yeah, Sean Kingston, man, he a real buster, man. Like, just a dude that, you know, it was a thing for a while for everybody that first come to LA to go to Sean Kingston's house. Like, that's what people just did. I don't know if it's like some initiation going on through that, but it's like everybody I would notice would go to Sean Kingston crib. So I'm there shooting for him, like a party or something that was going on there with the Migos. I'm following the Migos around, happened to be at his party. First come to LA to go to Sean Kingston's house. Like, that's what people just did. I don't know if it's like some initiation going on through that, but it's like everybody I would notice would go to Sean Kingston crib. So I'm there shooting for him, like a party or something that was going on there with the Migos. I'm following the Migos around, happened to be at his party. But before that, we had talks and meetings about doing videos. He got a bunch of music. Like, dude be working. Like, he had a cold-ass studio in his crib. And he had a bunch of tracks with people that could really do some shit. Like, he was playing some shit with Pusha T. He was trying to go back to Jamaica and shoot. But, you know, it was always something with the label. Like, motherfucker couldn't wasn't marketable enough. He had to lose weight, you know what I'm saying? He had to get certain things together in order for the label to engage with that and move forward with it. So he really in a depressing situation, man. Like, the only bag he was getting was from out of town, you know what I'm saying? And then later on you see, like, his cars and shit, right, really getting repo, jewelry, issues, shit like that. Like, your character gonna come out, you know what I'm saying, in this industry, no matter what. Like, your character gonna come out. So he just a weird dude, man. Like, my experience with him was like, you know, me and Soldier, we'll sip some lean, you know what I'm saying? So we'll have some lean out. A motherfucker would go in the cabinet, put their bottles in his pocket, like, and I'm seeing this shit. I'm like, bro, you got my lean bottle in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you gotta, like, what is you doing type shit. So it was shit like that. I never was a Sean Kingston fan, but I look at him as like a celebrity. I'm like, what are you doing going to the gas station with no socks and shoes on your feet? Like, you think this is just Jamaica for real? Like, you walking around with no shoes or socks on his feet in a 7-Eleven in Hollywood. Like, if paparazzi would have caught that, oh my God, they would have killed his ass. The internet would have had a field day with his ass. Like, but like, even situations like I'll bring girls to a video shoot, he ended up touching the girls and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, another issue happened. I ain't even gonna speak on that. Like, Soulja know what happened. Like, he know what happened that day. But, you know, shit, Sean Kingston just a weirdo. Like, dude ain't really doing shit. He ain't really having shit. Like,
all his cars ain't hit. Like this is a facade people put on. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't own these houses, they lease these houses, they lease these cars. When the lease go unpaid, they come take those cars. It's that simple. Like, so you gonna see all that shit coming out of people like Sean Kingston, man, because he ain't got it no more. Like his shit, I don't know where he's making his money at right now.
Earlier, you had mentioned getting shot at on the bus. Was that the only time that something like that happened to you?
Not the only time in my career. Like I've been shot at in Miami before, just shooting for other people that would, like local rappers around the world that would book me. I've been in people's hoods where other shit has went down, but never that close though. Like never that extreme. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would say going to jail that time for all them people over that weed shit, that synthetic, modified enhanced marijuana charge. They try to give me some trumped up charges, man. Like, that was worse than getting shot at, man. Cause jail was just weak as hell. It's the weakest place on earth, for real. Like, so I don't know, like. That was probably the worst situation as far as getting shot at was with Chief Keef on that tour bus, and it caught me completely off guard because I didn't even know what was going on. Like I didn't even know he was beefing with Shy Glizzy. I didn't even know what was going on. So shit was just wild as hell. One shit they could do about it though, like you're on a tour bus, you can't see out. They can see you though. Like you can't really shoot out of a tour bus. We're kind of at the mercy of them. So that shit was real scary because you're in a closed environment. People moving around, falling off the shit, dropping to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, lucky ain't nobody get hit, for real.
Damn. Sounds wild, man. Sounds like you had a wild trip, you know, with them years you were out there.
Yeah, man. Like, that's when I was like, fuck this shit. Like, this.
I would have said the same thing. If Sean Kingston was putting me through all that dumb shit, you're not only a bad dude, you're the scammer, then you're getting me into shit that I don't usually get into. High Def, I don't blame you for getting the fuck from around him. Just to be honest with you. Just to be honest with you. Let me get rid of all this shit though. Get rid of all this here. All right. Because it's not a very, I don't think this is a very big file. I should say. So, introduction. Sean Kingston's case, might as well go up to the top. So, Verver Entertainment versus plaintiff Sean Anderson, Sean Kingston. Plaintiff, Verver Entertainment, LLC. Matter of fact, let me take myself away right here. So I can see. It's a little bit better, you know. Alright. So, of course, the TV company, the place that owned the TV, basically. As we're suing them in here in this lawsuit. This is an action for damages of more than $50,000. Exclusive of interest, attorneys, fees, and litigation costs. Plaintiff Verver in Florida. It is a Florida corporation that regularly transacts business in Broward County, Florida. Let's just scroll down to a little bit of the meat and potatoes here. Because we know about the TV already. We know about the TV already. Yeah, the 232-inch colossal TV. Colossal's a great word for it. That's a very big fucking TV. Why do you need a $232,000 TV in the first place? Most niggas need like a what do you call it? $1,000 TV or something like that. You spend $1,000 on TV. That's still a lot. 232-inch TV. That was $150,000. Is a little bit expensive. Oh, so okay. So here we go. Something. In 2015, judgment was entered against defendant for obtaining $356,000 in watches without paying for them. In 2016, was again entered against defendant when he obtained $300,000 in jewelry without paying for it. Again in August 2022, defendant was sued for obtaining 2 luxury watches worth $1 million and failing to pay for them. Additionally, at all material times that plaintiff and defendant were communicating, defendant was at the time and will remain on felony probation for trafficking in stolen jewelry. He will remain on felony probation for trafficking in stolen jewelry. All of defendant's misrepresentations were designed to add defendant to plaintiff's list of victims. It says count 1 here, defendant's breach of contract, which is about the TV, of course, and the plaintiff giving him the $30,000. We know about that, of course. So this is pretty much all the things that we just covered in the case. That's really what Sean Kingston's case is. This is all the things that we had already covered. And he pretty much is going to jail. I don't know why they had so many blank spaces in between that. But that's why I said it was very short as far as the actual court document and things like that. Because it pretty much was just a rundown of the list of things that he would do. And, of course, to induce plaintiff to accept a much lower down payment and credit towards the purchase price, defendant promised plaintiff that he would produce promotional videos of plaintiff's corporation with Mr. Bieber. So, defendant had no ongoing work with Mr. Bieber, nor did the defendant and Mr. Bieber have any intention of producing promotional videos of plaintiff's corporation. Defendant made these false statements to induce plaintiff into installing that 232-inch colossal TV and sound system with a smaller down payment as possible, which was $30,000. Why you were putting down $30,000 for a TV is unbeknownst to me. So, when I say habitual offender,
big up to the Big Bad Explosive Media Entertainment YouTube channel. Boy Night Review. Boy Night.
I know I'm there at Hill Road and the construction and boy. So the man them straight up on circle for Sean Kingston machine them. See them there? Really Coupe, Range Rover SVR, the one that go up at the yard, Soldier and everybody. I just come dig them out of the garage. So we don't know. We want to move the machine them out of, we don't know what now. Get your black one, you don't want to walk up here. And let them go up and pick what they want. So you want to call soldier up on the yard there. Broke down all the man. Gate and go install. Yeah, no. No, the BMW is free, man. You can't do the Grammy artist like that. That's a joke thing that. Yeah, well, the BMW money work. Find the money. I got the money work on there.
So, like, how many times you gonna get caught with this shit? How many times you gonna get caught with the same thing? With the same exact thing, bruh. It don't even make sense at this point. Like I said, when he got arrested, when Sean Kingston got arrested, I understood it just fine. Everybody else was just like, oh, he's just a misunderstanding. He gonna get let out. I'm like, no, he ain't. Nah, not this time. Fed's been collecting on this one. They've been collecting information on this one. He going to jail, and he gonna stay in there for a little bit. He gonna definitely stay in there. This ain't gonna be no house probation. Listen, if the feds came and got your ass, it wasn't for no probation. They looking to throw the book at your stupid ass. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. Sean Kingston, it is over, sir. It is over. It's completely over. So, another thing that happened, before we get into Diddy's court case, of course, his ex-makeup artist actually went on CNN. Again, maybe I should retell this shit Audacity.
I want to bring in Mila Morales. She's a former makeup artist for Diddy and also Cassie Ventura, working for Diddy for years and eventually becoming a friend of Cassie's. In 2010, Mila alleges that she heard Cassie being physically abused and was a witness to the aftermath of the alleged attack. She joins me now. Mila, thank you so much for being here. This has been, for so many people, illuminating, infuriating, troubling, devastating. You can go down the list of things, but it's so difficult to speak about.
I know.
Being a witness of anything. Tell me how you must be feeling just knowing that this has even come to light.
Well, I have kept this secret for like 14 years. I mean, the first time I experienced it was 2010. And I was in the hotel room when Puff came in, and I had no idea Cassie left. And when I woke up, I just saw his presence come into the room. They went into the bedroom and shut the door, and all I could hear is screaming and yelling and whatever was going on in there, I don't know. But all I could think of was to grab Cassie's things and start packing it up and just getting her out to safety and bringing her to my house. So that's kind of like what transpired from that night. And once she came out of the room, she was badly, beaten.
Oh my God. What did her physical appearance look like?
I mean, it was knots on her head, black eye, busted lip, but a lot of knots all over her head.
Did she go to the police at that point or anything?
No, we didn't know what to do at that point.
You didn't know what to do at that point? You mean to tell me you've been holding this lie in for about 14 years for Diddy, defending him, talking about we didn't know what to do, we didn't know to go to the police. You clearly saw signs of her having, being hurt, having bruises and bumps on her head and whatnot. And you mean to motherfucking tell me that neither one of you, even you, look at Cassie, you didn't go to the police? I'm just saying.
You raggedy bitch.
You didn't even think to go to the police on Cassie's behalf and say, I think Mr. Combs is doing such and such? That, again, speaks volumes to the power that some of these men actually have. At the same time, why weren't you brave enough to actually step up and say something at the time?
Because, Puffy is a very powerful person, and we were quite terrified. So I just, brought her to my house, and my friend, who is a doctor, I called her, and thank God she was in town, because we didn't know what to do. And she treated her for, just to make sure she didn't have a concussion or anything like that. But it was really it was painful to see Cassie like that, because she's such a beautiful human being, and for a man to just hurt any sort of woman or child or animal, it doesn't matter. But Cass is a good friend of mine, and I just felt, I just didn't know what to do. I felt like I don't even know how to describe how I felt that night.
Did she describe how she was feeling about having that happen? Did you get a sense that this was the first time?
It didn't feel like it, because it wasn't. It was almost like, you know, I feel like she might have been embarrassed that that happened in front of me.
But the incident that you're talking about even predates what we saw in this horrific video from a hotel floor. When that video came out, what did it feel like knowing that that had now been public?
No, I was devastated when I saw that video, because it was like I witnessed what could have happened in that room and more, you know? So that was a hallway incident. Who knows what happened, you know, in that room when I was outside of there. And I was devastated. Actually, I've been devastated since the court cases came out and how, you know, he mistreated Cassie.
He has settled the suit involving her specifically, but there are others, and there are sources that are telling CNN that the majority of the people currently suing Diddy are actually speaking to federal investigators, which indicates the Justice Department might be moving close to an indictment. So do you think that Cassie would testify against him if federal investigators asked her to or compelled her to?
I'm really not sure. Like I said, I can't speak for Cass, but I hope she does. I hope she does, because she's the only one that would know all the information that's gone on over the years. So,
Mila, why do you think? I mean, we've heard certainly, you know, a lot of people in the industry condemn Diddy for what they saw on that video, but it hasn't been a universal outcry within the industry specifically. Why do you think that is?
Because it's a very small industry, and that we all know each other, and I feel like people are afraid to like speak up about it, and very, very like heartbroken about like how he's been treating her. It just it breaks my heart, and I just can't imagine like a man treating a woman that way, and not just a woman, but a friend of mine that I've known since she was a teenager. So, you know, I've known Cassie before all of this. So it disgusts me.
I can only imagine, of all the women that you have worked with and people who are eager to be in the industry, what they are exposed to, how they could be exploited and abused in a variety of ways. And that's why the idea that not hearing so many more people speak up is very frustrating and hurtful for so many people.
It is frustrating and hurtful, even for me, because I know what goes on behind the scenes, and I just can't imagine why nobody's speaking up. I mean, everyone's just hush hush and quiet. I don't know, maybe they're scared. I mean, we've all been scared, so, you know.
I hope this is a turning point, Mila Morales.
I think so.
I really hope it is. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
I hope so.
See, little shit like that lets me further know what it is you really do.
Cause ain't no way in hell. I'm just saying. Ain't no way in hell. You held this shit in for 14 years. And just now decided to get your little red cheek ass up here and talking about well, I've been holding this in for this long and we were scared to go to the police at the time, which could have been true. I understand. Did he have people in pocket? He has that much power over a lot of people, and you witnessed it and knew that. So you were scared to go to the police. I get that part. But my whole thing is, when they asked you the question of why nobody stood up and knew, you knew exactly why. And you could not say on national TV of why. That part was very telling to me. That you knew who it was, that you knew the people that's doing all this, but you can't confirm or say why. Gotta listen. Paying attention is a skill, I'll tell you. So, without further ado, I bring to you Sean Combs versus Miss Lamppost. Miss Lamppost. Maybe too young for you know that reference there. Anywho, so first things first, fucking with the worst, Mr. Combs being sued by, is this the Jane and John Doe? Which one is this? Oh, okay. April Lamppost versus plaintiff Sean Combs, Bad Boy Records. This is a John and Jane Doe. 1 to 10 in ABC corporations as well. See, when you get whole corporations involved in your lawsuits, Diddy, keep telling y'all, it is not a good look for him at all as far as him going to jail. Okay, so let's get into the, I'll take myself off the camera, okay. Just to get down to the nitty gritty. Look at this shit. See, that's the thing. You can't deal with, you can't do all that shit that you was doing back then in the day, and then you know that these women also have pictures of you with them, Diddy. So you can't be doing shit and then forgetting the fact that you took whole photo shoots with these people that you so-called essayed. That you so-called blackballed and so on and so forth. You can't be taking pictures with these people, Diddy. Because that right there is what's going to be your criminal demise. The fact that people are going to look into how many people you actually knew. And what they were involved in. So, just a little bit. So, upon information and belief, Ms. Lamppost met Mr. Combs in early 1994 after the birth of his first son, Justin Dior Combs. At the time, Ms. Lamppost was a college student at the Fashion Institute of Technology, studying fashion design and marketing. To impress her, Mr. Combs would often invite her to Bad Boy recording studios in New York City. Says Miss Lamppost, Sean Combs, and a friend in Bad Boy Studios. I wonder who that friend is. And why they got her blanked out like that. I don't see anything redacted right here. But when she met Mr. Combs, Miss Lamppost shared with him her dreams of working in the fashion industry, and Mr. Combs promised to mentor her and help her by introducing her to music and fashion industry executives, as well as assisting her with finding work. Is this the one no, this ain't the one I read. Okay. Mr. Combs love bombed her. He showered her with gifts and flowers, as evidenced by one of the cards that accompanied the flowers that Mr. Combs sent Mrs. Lamppost for Valentine's Day in 1994. So here we have yet another model that he's trying to, get in bed with, it seems like. Mr. Combs went so far as to invite Miss Lamppost to his first Father's Day celebration. The invitation is here below. Wow. To his firstborn, Justin. Kind of crazy to me. Even back then, the kid don't look nothing like Diddy. None like Diddy. And this is back in 1994. 1994. So a month after Father's Day, the Father's Day event, Mr. Combs invited Miss Lamppost to an exclusive Bad Boy party with performances by Usher, Craig Mack, and Notorious B.I.G. And this would have another flyer right here. back from the 1994 party in July 19th. That was at the Capitol, located on the 1110 First Avenue, 61st Street. Upon information and belief, what Mr. Combs displayed as kind gestures quickly manifested into an aggressive, coercive, and abusive relationship based on sex. These acts were not isolated to the state of New York, as Mr. Combs would fly Miss Lampros to Atlanta to see him, where they would spend time together. Miss Lampros would also fly to Miami to see Mr. Combs at his own home as well. So as you can see, there's a picture of her just looks like sitting next to Diddy, and sitting next to Diddy right there outside. It looks like, Mr. Holmes Combe in Florida. Upon information and belief throughout the years with Mr. Combs, there were 4 terrifying sexual encounters Miss Lampros endured. Now, see, when I hear, 4 encounters...
See, little shit like that lets me further know what it is you really do.
4 encounters? You really have to think about that for a second. 4 different times this man did something to you, and you even had the thought of coming back, maybe for a 5th, is crazy. Even if you did. I'm glad you didn't. According to Miss Lampros, Mr. Combs had a terrible temper and often threatened to harm her if she failed to do what he said. If he witnessed her talking to other men, or if she failed to take his cell phone calls. According to Miss Lampros, she was also not allowed to talk about her relationship with Mr. Combs to anyone because he did not want anyone to know he was seeing her because she is a white woman. Wow, it's kind of fucked up. Like, come on now, Diddy. That's kind of fucked up. And the crazy thing was, you was only using that as an excuse. So sexual assault encounter 1. So the first horrific sexual encounter occurred in 1995 when Miss Lampros met up with Mr. Combs in south of Houston Street, Soho, at a bar. She was introduced to a woman named, and the group lightly drank throughout the evening. At the time, Ms. Lampros was a college student and did not drink any alcohol. Due to Mr. Combs' delusional and violent outbursts, she succumbed to pressure and reluctantly drank with Mr. Combs and whoever was there. It says a name that's redacted, but I don't actually see the name. They don't have like a hint of who the redacted name is in there right now. As they drank, Miss Lampros began to feel uneasy. At this point, she had only had a few sips of one drink. Miss Lampros and the redacted singer or rapper were guided to a vehicle and left the bar with Mr. Combs. They arrived at the Millennial Hotel. While at the hotel, Miss Lampros continued to feel uneasy. She recalls feeling like the walls were closing in on her. She was laid on the hotel bed where Mr. Combs was forced himself on top of her. Mr. Combs began to kiss Miss Lampros, and as she turned her head, trying to avoid the interaction, he grabbed her face. Mr. Combs continued to kiss her forcibly. Ms. Combs informed him that she wasn't feeling well, but he ignored her words and continued to take off her clothing. Ms. Lampros tried to hold on to her clothing, but she felt weak and powerless in this situation. Ms. Lampros pleaded with Mr. Combs to stop, and he ignored her. Ms. Lampros could not process why this was occurring and felt a loss of control. All right now. It's kind of getting crazy now. This is just the first time, right? Ms. Lampros was being raped by Mr. Combs, and she soon passed out. Now she's passed out. You know how crazy it got to be going on for you to get that half? Just get the verse wide open. It's kind of crazy. This is kind of crazy here. So Miss Lampros was being raped and she soon passed out. I cannot believe that, that she would go back a second time after this. I can't believe she would go back a second time after this. So the next morning, Miss Lampros was awoken by the sun peering through the drapes. She was nude, sore, and confused. Miss Lampros quickly got out of bed, clothed herself, and left the hotel room as fast as she could. Months after the first rape, Mr. Combs pursued Miss Lampros. He sent her gifts, cards, and flowers, and used his power and access to music industry events to lure Miss Lampros back to him. Miss Lampros was a hopeful yet naive college student and took Mr. Combs at his word and believed that the first rape was possible. Mulligan and decided... Wait, what? The first rape was possible Mulligan and decided to give him a second chance. You decided to give him a second chance. I don't understand.
See little shit like that lets me further know.
I don't understand the second chance part. You gave him a mulligan and decided to give him a second chance. The verse is wide open. The verse is wide open. At the time, Miss Lampros was a college student in her late teens and early 20s. Her decision to return to Mr. Combs after being raped is indicative of many assault survivors who return to their abusers. Miss Lampros agreed to meet with Mr. Combs to discuss the business opportunities he promised, as he knew her passion was to pursue a career in fashion and music. Now, they met up and talked near this Manhattan apartment, which was somewhere near 30th Street at the time. Miss Lampros was under the impression that what had occurred months prior between them would not happen again, but she was holding on to Mr. Combs' promises of access to his industry to pursue her passion. So you holding on to these big dreams and just still fucking with him after you didn't say he had raped you. This is crazy. This is crazy. He couldn't wait to get this wide open, I tell you. And this is what this... You know what the crazy thing is? He went to an all-boy... I was reading that Rolling Stone thing. I mean, most of it we already broke down. But, he went to an all-boys school. Combs was raised Roman Catholic and served as an altar boy. He graduated from an all-boys Catholic school, Mount St. Michael Academy in 1987. Played football for the academy. Team won a division title in 1986. So, getting into the psyche of things, verse wide open. The verse is just wide open right here. All the words are on the table. Reading between the lines, this man had that much power that he had all these women really believing that he was somewhat of a good person, really was not, that he could get away with the rape. The girl gives him a second chance and she keeps coming back because she keeps thinking that he's going to either sign her to a label or get her signed to some big contract somewhere. Still wants to, do the same one too. Things seemed to be normal between the two until the second incident of sexual assault. During a second incident of sexual assault, Mr. Combs and Miss Lampros were in a parking garage near his Manhattan apartment. She believes it was somewhere near 30th Street. They were headed to dinner and Mr. Combs was slightly inebriated. As they headed toward the parking garage, Mr. Combs grabbed Miss Lampros by the waist and forced her down to her knees. He quickly unzipped his pants, exposing his erect penis. He then grabbed her by the hair, wrapping it around his fists. He then forced his erect penis into her mouth and demanded Miss Lampros perform oral sex. Miss Lampros' eyes filled with tears. She could see the parking garage attendant witnessing this horrific assault. This had no impact on Mr. Combs. He was blinded by his lustful desire to pleasure himself at Miss Lampros' expense. When Mr. Combs was done with her, he told her to get up. Miss Lampros was in a shock, morally depleted, embarrassed, in physical agony because of Mr. Combs violently yanking her down to her knees and pulling her hair. Once again, Miss Lampros made a decision to distance herself. And once again, Mr. Combs came back with gifts and empty promises. Miss Lampros was not moved. She had enough. She had enough, right? This is her word. She had enough. Decided to focus on her studies and leave Mr. Combs for good. Unbeknownst to Miss Lampros, Mr. Combs was not good at accepting rejection. He immediately switched his approach, became angry, threatening, and forceful. He developed his mobster persona, and Miss Lampros was in fear of him. Mr. Combs, calling Miss Lampros incessantly, it's a crazy word, incessantly, would often call her just to say, if anyone is in your apartment, I will beat your ass in theirs. It's kind of now that is psychotic right there. That you just completely harassing a person to where you calling them saying if anybody's in their apartment, you'll beat their ass and yours too. What if it's just my mama visiting? What if it's just my sister and my brother visiting? You gonna beat them up and me too? Wow. Miss Lampros' reasonable fear of Mr. Combs left her feeling stuck with him, and with no way out, he knew where she lived and worked and had connections to ensure her compliance with his demands. She felt that if she disobeyed him, he would take away her dreams of pursuing a career in his world. Mr. Combs would also threaten to blacklist her in the industry if she tried to mess with him in any way. And Miss Lampros' dreams and everything she's been working hard for, were in the palm of her hands. One night in 1986, Mr. Combs ordered Miss Lampros to his Manhattan apartment. Mr. Combs' residence was in the 30s and Park near Midtown Tunnel. When Miss Lampros arrived, Kim Porter and two other people were present. This is the crazy one here. Mr. Combs introduced the women. They went to a nightclub. After the club closed, they returned to Mr. Combs' apartment and they began a night of drinking. So now the drinking is going on. And we all know sometimes what can lead to drinking. Now, here's the crazy part that y'all not understanding. This is just right after the forcing in the parking lot. And someone said they were going to focus on their studies. A couple of hours into the evening, Mr. Combs forced Miss Porter and Miss Lampros to take ecstasy. Mr. Combs instructed the women to open their mouths. When they complied with the demand, Mr. Combs forced the pill down. Now see, here's the thing. You can't say he forced it down anywhere if they complied. It clearly says he instructed the women to open their mouths. When they complied with the demand, Mr. Combs forced the pill down their mouth? No, they just put it in there. He put it down their throats to ensure the pills were swallowed. Mr. Combs' hand was so far down Miss Lampros' throat she gagged. He even checked under their tongues. With the combination of alcohol and ecstasy, that's kind of sick and sadistic that he was checking under tongues and making sure that shit went down there. It's crazy. Ms. Lampros recalls feeling lightheaded and lethargic after being forced to take ecstasy. Mr. Combs then demanded Kim Porter to have sexual intercourse with Ms. Lampros. So Ms. Lampros vocally opposed this idea, but Mr. Combs quickly reminded her that she had no control over the situation, as he could make her lose her job. Ms. Lampros knew that she had no that she had to comply because she had witnessed what happens when someone defies Mr. Combs. She had also been threatened and victimized by Mr. Combs and did not want to cause a problem because she feared him. As Mr. Combs demanded Miss Porter and Miss Lampros to engage in sex, Mr. Combs sat close by masturbating for some time before pushing Kim Porter off Miss Lampros and forcing his penis inside of her and raping her. Now, see, I don't know if I can, again, call this a... what can lead to drinking, the drugging? Yeah. You know, that's the thing. It sounded like she was, down with a lot of this shit. More than she, was getting raped. I can't necessarily say that's, rape when there's a threesome happening and then he just jumps in. That's what I'm saying. There's already a freak off happening. You're in it. I don't know if that's rape right there. I'm just being... I'm not saying that she's wrong, but I don't know if that's, I'm just saying. This is the third time the girl's been back after she said she got sexually assaulted. Let's put that in perspective as well. Ms. Lampros felt numb at the moment and emotionally checked out. A few hours later, Ms. Lampros recalls being woken by Mr. Combs and told to leave the residence. She felt disgusted, ashamed, and embarrassed and couldn't believe what had happened. I bet you couldn't. Let me make sure I read some of these comments here while we're doing this. And 411 says, it's crazy. Fury B says, Fury B says, but a part of it's in the music. Yeah, part of it is the music. Psychologically grooms them for what they'll see before he even interacts with them. Very true. That's very true. A la Jay-Z and Rihanna, if we're getting technical there as well. What can lead to drinking? The drugging? Yeah, that too. But, it was in a situation where she was already just at the event, and it was after party, basically. You just came from the club with him, and you're already drinking there probably, so you're getting drunk some more when you get to the after party where he's at with Kim Porter. Yeah, they pretty much were partying. This wasn't that's what's making it very difficult to say that this was the raping when she keeps coming back. That's the questionable part of it. Shortly after this event, Ms. Lampros slowly distanced herself from Mr. Combs, even though she was reluctant to be with him. He used industry connections and invitations to exclusive events to keep her attached. So if he'd now done raped you a third time, right? Supposedly he's raped you now a third time. Do you take the invitations? Let's be honest here. Do you take the invitations? Fury B says, real consensual freak-offs are big on trust and being able to decline shit. And see, that's the thing. If that's the case, has she declined anything yet? Everything she's saying is that's forced. So if you're in one of those situations and someone rolls up who you're not feeling and you say, I'm not good, they're supposed to find out. They're supposed to find another spot in the party to get your show. But see, here's the thing, right? Yes, and if you're in one of those situations and someone rolls upon you not feeling what you say, I'm good, they're supposed to just find on the spot. Yes. Leave. My thing is she should have left ahead of time. She shouldn't have been there for the third time. That's just my hops. She shouldn't have been. There shouldn't have even been a third time for her to even be given invitations to an event. So Mr. Combs went so far as to invite her to Kim Porter's birthday celebration. So you just had sex with Kim Porter. God rest her soul. That she's even getting included in this. God rest her soul. Rest in peace. But now you're getting a birthday invitation to her birthday party. So it's like the audacity of him. The audacity of him. The audacity of him. Like, and then, yeah, that's another thing, right? You keep going back. Like, why? At this point, why do you keep going back to him? If you're supposedly being raped by him now the third time. So, end of the road, in or about 1998, Ms. Lampros found the courage to end her relationship with Mr. Combs. She had finally suffered enough. You think? However, this ending was one-sided. Mr. Combs and Kim Porter weren't done with Ms. Lampros. Kim Porter was very resentful of Ms. Lampros after she was forced to engage in sex acts with Ms. Lampros. She dined at Ms. Lampros' place of employment, a bar named Sliver, which was in Soho. According to Ms. Lampros, Ms. Porter was enraged when she saw her. According to Ms. Lampros, 2 days later, Ms. Porter called her employer and complained to the manager, alleging that Ms. Lampros attempted to poison her. She then stated that her boyfriend was Sean Combs and could have the business shut down if he did not immediately terminate Ms. Lampros. Later that evening, the manager told her he had to let her go because Mr. Combs called and demanded that he fire her. Now, see, that's fucked up. That's fucked up right there. He's flexing his power to just get you fired from your job in the blink of a fucking eye. You ain't do nothing to even get fired for. You ain't do nothing to get fired, and in the blink of an eye, he gets you fired all because you don't want to be with him. That's just craziness at this point. I agree. She should have turned around and left when she seen him at the next event after the first incident. Clearly she stuck around. I don't know about for that, but no, clearly she stuck around for the money. I'll say that. She clearly stuck around for the money and the promises of things. So Ms. Lampros believes that Ms. Porter got Ms. Lampros fired in retaliation for what Mr. Combs made them do. According to Ms. Lampros, her boss was afraid of Mr. Combs and his contacts and told her he had to do it or Mr. Combs could risk getting his business closed. Ms. Lampros called Mr. Combs and he showed no remorse that she was out of a job. In fact, he laughed about it at the time she ended their relationship. Ms. Lampros recalls Mr. Combs' penis being adolescently in being... Here we go with that word, adolescently. It was just smaller than a baby's arm? Is that what you're... in both length and width. Oh my goodness, that is funny as hell. That is funny as hell. His penis being adolescent in both length and width is crazy to say that he just isn't packing it down there, which explains the complexity of him not necessarily, knowing how to treat a woman, if you know what I mean. That's what that sounds like. She recalls him being circumcised and remembers a tattoo on his chest. While in a relationship with Mr. Combs, Miss Lampros was a student at FIT, F-I-T. She had a passion for fashion, and Mr. Combs knew this. Mr. Combs promised Miss Lampros several working opportunities in this fashion and music industry, and the two often discussed his plans to launch his own clothing brand. Within months of Miss Lampros ending their relationship, Mr. Combs launched Sean John. So, according to Miss Lampros, she saw Mr. Combs at the Rockefeller Center in about the end of 2000, towards the beginning of 2001. At the time, Miss Lampros said Mr. Combs may have been filming a season of Making the Band. According to Miss Lampros, when Mr. Combs saw her, he approached Miss Lampros and asked the camera crew to turn off the cameras to not film their interaction. That's fishy mistake number one. According to Miss Lampros, Mr. Combs asked her how she was expressed to her that he missed her and asked if she would leave the event at the Rockefeller Center with him. Miss Lampros, of course, rejected. Mr. Combs then left. According to Miss Lampros, later that evening, he kept calling her and calling her and calling her and asking if she would come to his apartment on Park Avenue, but she just said no still. So he even offered to send the driver to pick her up. Finally, he offered to come with the driver to pick her up himself. So according to Miss Lampros, Mr. Combs does not like the word no. You think he had tried about 5 different times after ripping you 3 times to still get you. He called a few more times, so she stopped answering the phone. According to this one, you just disconnected and get a new number. According to Miss Lampros, a few days later, he called again, begging to see her. Reluctantly and regrettably, she allowed him to come over to her apartment located at 477 Central Park West to hear what he had to say. Miss Lampros figured it was during the day and doubted that he would try to even harm her. According to Miss Lampros, when she opened the door, his security was sitting on the stairwell. Knowing that security was there made Miss Lampros feel a little bit better about letting him in. They sat on her couch. How do you even know where you live? They sat on her couch and began talking. According to Miss Lampros, Mr. Combs began apologizing for his past behaviors. He started telling her that he was a changed man. He then showered her with compliments, telling her how good she looked, and kept reminiscing about their prior sex life. He then began dropping hints about them having sex. Miss Lampros rejected his advances. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Mr. Combs violently grabbed her and forced himself onto her. He began kissing her and touched her against her will. At that point, Miss Lampros fought him off after she quickly realized it was a big mistake to have allowed him to visit her. She told him to leave, and she felt that he just wanted to use her for sex and didn't have anything change at all. You did all that and hadn't changed at all. Of course you didn't. Of course you didn't, Diddler. Of course you didn't. So according to several media reports from that time, Mr. Combs ended his relationship with Jennifer Lopez also due to infidelity in February 2001. This was around the same time that Mr. Combs sexually assaulted Miss Lampros. Luckily for Lampros, the couch was right next to the studio of the apartment, so it was ways that was easy for her to reach for the door, open it, and demand for him to leave. She ensured that his security could hear her telling him to exit. She was afraid that Mr. Combs would have raped her, as he does not take no for an answer. Once again, that word no, he does not like. And had a history of violently handling her and forcing her to perform oral on him. Miss Lampros is in any prison, or in possession of. She's in possession of several of Mr. Combs' phone numbers throughout the years. Says Miss Lampros discovered that Mr. Combs recorded and disclosed a tape of him having sex with her. That's some nasty work right there. According to Miss Lampros, in about 2023, Miss Lampros was at a function, and a gentleman, redacted, informed the man Miss Lampros was dating that he should reconsider dating her because he personally saw a video of her and Sean Combs having sex. Wow. So I wonder who that name is that got redacted there as well. I wonder whose name that is got redacted. Now I'm thinking about it. According to Miss Lampros, redacted shared that he saw the tape during the redacted shared that he saw the tape. That's kind of crazy. So it's someone else, okay? Shared that he saw the tape during the summer of 1997. According to Mr. Lampros, she was told that Mr. Combs apparently recorded them having sex without her knowing, and showed it to multiple people. Can't really say that part. Without her knowing. I think she kind of knew. I think he told her, and just to flex the power, he told her, but said you can't do anything about it. I think he did that. That's a tactic he done with so many other people. Ms. Lampros incorporates by referencing all preceding paragraphs and realleges them. She sees fit forth fully herein. So, And it's just reading up the first course of action, then the second course of action, of course, third course of action. Yeah, man. The Diddler. The Diddler's going down. Yeah, pray for relief. The Diddler's going down, y'all. The Diddy old ass mama go to jail with his ass, and I'm not gonna lie, it'll be fair. It would be. It would be fair. That's the thing. It would be very fair. I wish the mama would go to jail also for all the things that she's done. Remember, all the receipts are in her name. Especially right now, all the receipts are in her name right now. It's not in Diddy's name. That's the thing. Mace let y'all know that shit already. So, another thing we had to cover real quick was the fact that she had obviously read the Rolling Stone magazine article. Miss Valletta Wallace, the Queen, Notorious B.I.G.'s mom, Valletta Wallace, declares she wants to slap the daylights out of Sean Combs. I've been waiting for you to say them words for so long, Miss Combs. Let's see here. So, after Rolling Stone published a lengthy article about Sean D. Combs' alleged long-time abusive behavior that mentioned Big earlier this week, the late rapper icon's mom is speaking out. The investigative story featured interviews with dozens of Combs' former and friends and colleagues touching on his alleged violence toward accusers, including Cassie, as well as jealousy over Biggie. Let's see. Let's go down just a little bit here. So, Valletta 71 spoke to Rolling Stone for an interview published on May 30th, telling the outlet she feels sick to my stomach. That was written terribly there. She feels sick to my stomach. Okay, in response to the allegations surrounding Mr. Combs, 54, as well as the recently surfaced footage of him physically assaulting Ventura in the 2016 hotel incident. So, I'm praying for Cassie. I'm praying for his mother. I don't want to believe the things I've heard, but I've seen the hotel video. She said that he apologizes to her. I pray that he apologizes to her. The retired teacher also expressed disappointment in the Bad Boy Records founder and detailed how she'd react in a potential future interaction with them. I hope that I see Sean one day and that he is the only thing I want to do is to slap the daylights out of him. So I hope that I see Sean one day and the only thing I want to do is slap the daylights out of him. You can quote me on that. Declared Valletta, because I liked him. I didn't want to believe all the awful things, but I'm also so ashamed and embarrassed. He needs to apologize to his mother. The founder of the Christopher Wallace Memorial Foundation added, I hope to God he sits her down and the pills in his pills guts and apologizes to her. And spills his guts and apologizes to her. One anecdote from the Rolling Stone report on Combs saw former Bad Boy partner and president Kirk Burroughs claiming that I'll Be Missing You rapper felt slighted when Shakur and Biggie grew close. It's crazy because he didn't even write that record as well. The I'll Be Missing You record. That was Sting. There was someone on the sidelines jealous, Burroughs said, referring to Combs. Biggie was a Bad Boy artist, of course, while Shakur. Okay, so they're now explaining the Death Row shit, which of course that don't got nothing to do with nothing. But of course, like I said, Puff just had a lot of power over the years, and maybe that is what got people scared. Excuse me. That's the thing. Maybe people were scared. I think people were terrified, I guess, of the power that Diddy actually had over them, which is unfortunate. That's very unfortunate, in my opinion. But, so, we got We covered Diddy today. Covered Drake. Even this fat fucker on the cover here. You know, once again, I just want to say happy 5,000 subscribers. Thank you all. I love you all. I greatly appreciate you guys for always coming in and making this chat look lit. That is my main thing. I love each and every last one of you, yo.
I got to look at him and I just realized that, man, we have something. I remember just seeing him like across the club and he just nodded at me. I nodded at him and we just knew we had something special.
I love you, man. Nigga, you gay.
When I first heard that little tidbit, I was like, you know what, I gotta throw that in there. It's funny how time flies. I see y'all probably tomorrow.
Funny how time flies when you're making love. It goes on and on and on. We just can't go wrong. Funny how time flies when you're making love. It goes on and on and on. We just can't go wrong.
What you talking about, bro?
Chill,